know he had just won the Jiu-Jitsu World Championships. I was like, yo, Jiu-Jitsu? I was like, man, I'm gonna bust this dude.
Like right here, when he pulled guard.
You know what I was actually thinking? God honest truth, I said, man, he's so weak.
You hear that, BJ? You weak mother.
When somebody gets taken down, what's the first thing they do? They leg lace, Dagestani handcuffs. It's all the same. Like when Khabib was doing that stuff, he was the first one to do it. Now, like everybody's prepared for it, and they're starting to catch up.
So you see a time when that's no longer effective.
I do.
But Luke Rockhold back in the mix too.
I like that.
Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov.
If you keep talking, the furniture will start floating, dude. This guy. Whoa!
MMA. We are a combat sports and MMA show hosted by very, very casual fans that don't know anything at all. My name is Gilbert. That is Nick. David is not here because he's a lucky guy. He's at UFC 311 Media Day. But who cares? When you can't have a Korean here, you get a sexy black man to fill in for him. And I mean, sexy. Camera, don't pan to him yet. Get ready. When you see this, you're going to see the body of an Adonis. Close to Michael B. Jordan, but not. But get ready, guys. We have a fighter. We have commentator. We have coach. We have a guy that, can I say, has the best impressions in all of comedy. Give it up for Dean Orden Thomas. What is your name?
It's Dean. Yeah.
Okay.
You can always tell if somebody doesn't really know me because they'll call me Din.
Yeah.
That sounds Chinese.
That is Chinese.
No, I swear it. Like I get confused for a Chinese person all the time.
I do
like,
too.
You know what I'm saying? I bet you. I thought you was Chinese. You know what I'm saying? When I first saw it, I said, yeah.
Wait, where's Nick? I can't tell which one's Nick. Hey, if you thought Dean Thomas was Chinese, go fuck yourself.
No, man.
Come on,
but I'm
dude.
glad you gave me that intro because I was a little self-conscious about coming. I thought I looked fat in this shirt, so I was like, yeah. So,
bro,
I'm like, I look fat in this
jacked.
Do I really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah.
The chest
I do this.
you know?
I do this for the young boys, man. These little young boys getting too strong. So
Yeah.
I gotta let them know. I got one left in me.
Yeah.
Ready
You know
to
what I'm
cock,
saying?
ready to go.
One left. I got I got 30 seconds left in me.
Yeah, you hear that, Phil?
That's for all the little young boys out
Yeah.
there and the women.
Yeah.
30 seconds left in me. Yeah.
Hardest 30 seconds of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after that, easy after that.
Yeah.
Just 30 seconds. So we want to start here. Thank you for being here. We were doing a little research, and I don't think people know this about you, but I would love you to talk about your thespian background. We did not know that Dean Thomas was singing Wicked on stage.
A man in the theater.
You were a theater man.
I am a theater man. Like, people don't know that.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Like, I'm doing an improv show. I did one last week.
So you did improv?
Just straight improv. I've done mostly improv. Only because, like...
I'm a Second City guy.
Are you really?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So and I've been to some Second City shows in Chicago.
Wow.
But only because, like, as I was coming up as a fighter, it's easier to do improv because you don't have to remember... You don't have to learn lines.
Yeah.
So you can
bullshit.
Yeah, you can bullshit your way on stage. But I don't know, man, there's just something about that instant gratification of being in a black box theater with like 10 people watching and you just performing.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Have you always had that love growing up? Like, was this all before fighting? Or
no,
how'd you get into it?
This was so I started acting probably back in like 2002.
Okay.
I was fighting and I remember just... Again, we talked about this off air when, as fighters, like you have to be able to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is entertainment. You have to be able to go out there and perform. And I felt like acting would help me perform better as a fighter.
Wow.
So I started acting, and then again, my fight career was like I was in UFC and everything. So and then I was like, you know what? Maybe I should try improv too. So because again, you don't have to learn lines. You just have to learn the games and the mechanism of how long form, short form, and so on and so forth. So
yes, and.
Yeah, yes and, right? Just yes and.
You don't know what that is, you idiot.
No, I have no idea. I've never done improv before. That's why I'm impressed. Because who would make that connection, especially
as a fighter?
2002, 2003?
Yeah.
Would your teammates make fun of you? Like, oh, you do improv?
No, they didn't know. They didn't know. But it also...
So you were improv in the DL?
Hey, we're going tonight.
Hey, why are you taking that bag with you full of scripts? Oh, no, I'm going to burn it later.
It's crazy, too, man, because, like, on one hand, like, at the height of my career, like, I'm out there, I'm in the UFC, I'm doing all these things with the UFC, and then the next week, I'm in this little theater with a bunch of theater geeks. Yeah, it was. I mean, I really had, but it gave me balance in my life.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
something that I think all fighters need is balance. Like, because when you're around all fighters, I mean, it's just. It's a mess. Like, fighters are a mess. And then improv and theater people are a mess in a different way.
Yeah.
So I had a good little dichotomy of messes going on in my life.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because I was, we were just scrolling through if you type your name on YouTube, there's some wild shit of you. And I was like,
I know it's kind of embarrassing. I'm like,
you have 20 different jobs.
Yeah, I do. I can do it. I've done, in terms of MMA, I've done.
Dude, this might be the greatest bit in MMA history. For fans that are listening to audio, we're watching a video of Dean playing Kimura Usman.
Kimura Usman.
It's like the alternative version of Kumaru. How did that come about?
You seem way cooler than regular Kimura.
I don't.
Like, you seem just cooler.
Yeah, he can walk.
I don't know. I started doing that on my Instagram, and because he was doing the death show with us, the producers, they asked me if I wanted to do that. Because he was going to be on. I was like, of course I do. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Y'all give me an opportunity to roast my man, and he can't beat me up right here because there's too many people.
There's security.
So, yeah.
Bro, you got everything down. My favorite is when you're like, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah. I break your face. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Dollars.
Yeah. And last year I did the Tough 32 post show for ESPN, and they gave me the free range, man. I was doing impressions and just I had a free range of just roasting everybody.
So who else is in the bag? Who else do you have in your repertoire of impressions? You got a Dagestani one? You got a good Daggy?
Well, so my Dagestani one is silent. Yeah. It's I have a Dagestani. It's a Dingomed Magomedov.
Hey, so Dingomed, how do you think you're gonna win this fight this week?
Brother. And that's all he does. but
how are you gonna win the fight though?
Brother.
Throwing inshallah there,
but it's more about what he looked like. So I would have the singlet on, and I had this massive chest hair coming out, and I had combat boots. I was 400.
400.
Yeah,
Sambo gi.
Yes, yeah. It was. Yeah, but he's silent. He just growls.
Yeah.
My favorite one is the one you're gonna pull up, which is the Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
That one's a good one.
Honestly,
the cadence is on point.
You could have, honestly, in your younger life, you could have just tried out for SNL. I don't know why you did it.
If I was like in my 20s, I would pursue that. I would probably pursue that. Yeah.
Over fighting, huh? If you
I liked fighting.
Yeah.
At the time, I did. I loved fighting.
No, you could tell because the things you were pulling off in the cage, I was like, what the fuck?
But again, to me, that was entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was entertainment. I got lost in the sauce when they was like, hey, you got to win, too. And I was like, what? I just like doing cool moves.
I just want to wear this wig and do an impression.
Yeah.
What's my walkout going to be?
No, dude, you're going to win the fight. But what's my walkout?
Yeah, like, that's how I was. I was, I got to do some cool stuff. But the Stephen A. thing always was kind of a hit.
The eyebrow raise was what kills me the whole time, too. That's a lot of impressions to keep your eyebrow up. Like,
have you got to do it for Stephen A?
I have not done it for him.
Let's make that happen, guys.
I know. I want to. I've seen him at a couple UFCs, and he just kind of gives me a little nod. He won't really acknowledge me. But
he knows what's up.
I think
he's seen it.
He knows what's up.
Yeah.
So, you said you were fighting at the time, and then you were also doing improv.
Yeah.
So let's go before that. How did you get into fighting? What were you like, a old school traditional martial arts, karate, kung fu, all that stuff, or MMA?
So no, I was a small kid. So I was in 7th grade. I weighed 76 pounds. Oh shit.
Hey Richie, you'll be good, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was always a small kid and being intimidated by like bigger kids in school. You know, I grew up in South Florida, so you know the big black Haitian kids was running around. I was like, yo, man, I don't want to get beat up by one of these dudes.
What's the grab?
Yeah. So I saw Hoyce Gracie, and he was smaller.
Yeah.
And he ran through UFC 1 and 2. I was like, yo, I gotta learn how to do that. And I just went on this mission. And my enthusiasm for MMA has never stopped. Never stopped since day one. I mean, so the very first thing I did in learning jiu-jitsu was I did a 2-day seminar with Rickson Gracie in Charlotte, North Carolina in 1995. And I drove there. I slept in the car. It was $180. I drove. I slept in the car. And I did this 2-day seminar with Rickson and was like, I got to just figure out how to fight. And just learn how to fight.
Well, getting a seminar from Hickson at that time.
Yeah.
Was that his Japan days when he was tearing people up?
Yeah, it was in 1995. So I mean, I can't remember where that was in relation to his pride fighting, but
did he teach you how to do the breathing techniques?
he did. He was like
he had a whole section with that.
He had like a section on that and just a section about hips, how your hips have to move and all that. I was like, it was like looking back. I was like, yo, he gave me some gems like that. I didn't even
like next level stuff.
Next level gems. Yeah,
especially back then, because in your area during that time, there was probably not many jiu-jitsu.
Oh no, there was nothing. There was no jiu-jitsu back. I mean, it was in Miami. They had. Carlson Gracie had a school in Miami. Carlson Gracie Jr. and Conan Silvera, who's still around and doing his thing. He had a school in South Beach, but outside of that, there was nothing. There was no jiu-jitsu anywhere. Like nowadays, it's everywhere.
Especially Florida.
Oh,
Florida is like the hub. I would say next to Vegas, maybe.
Oh yeah, in Florida, I mean, it's schools everywhere. Jiu-jitsu, MMA, kickboxing, it's everywhere. Yeah, but yeah. I don't know, man. I found it and said, yo, I got to learn how to defend myself. I can't let these dudes intimidate me. And that's why I still train and fight, because it's really for the street. You know, it really is. And then if I made some money at it or can help some other people make some money at it, I help. But it's really for the street.
Damn.
Yeah, so you were getting street fights and stuff?
I don't, but I'm just ready for one.
Back in the day?
I've never been in one, but I'm ready.
I don't even get in street fights, but I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready. I don't know why I put so much into it, because it don't never happen. It never happens.
I mean, like, you seem like a very nice guy. I don't think anyone would ever mess with you.
I think that's what it is. And plus, you know, when you train a lot, you train a little bit, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you train.
Kickboxing.
Hey. Okay, all right.
We got to get on the grapple.
Yeah.
But that's it. When you train a lot, the last thing you want to do afterwards is fight somebody else. You're like, man, I'm tired.
Because whenever I feel like not angry or feel like get really angsty and I need to train, I train a little bit. I get close to like someone beating me up and I'm like, I'm good after that.
Yeah, you're like, I'm all right.
He took 2 amateur fights, was like, I'm good.
Oh, yeah, two amateur MMA fights? Okay.
I have 4, lost the last one, and I got lay and prayed, so I was like, I got to start doing some jiu-jitsu. And then I just kind of fell in love with doing a lot of jiu-jitsu.
So hold on, wait a minute. You did amateur fights before you did jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, this is what it was. It was just like, it was just kind of nonsense.
Hold on, wait a minute. You went backwards.
That's Chinese style, man. I need to go to a fight first before I learn how to train.
I thought my wushu could.
Yeah, what you was doing, kung fu before? What the hell was
wushu in the cage. Yeah, I thought that would save me, but it didn't. No, but it was just like, you know, I did a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of jiu-jitsu, but it wasn't anywhere near to the point where I should have been fighting. Yeah. You know, but I got away with it for the first couple ones, but the last one, I was like, oh, better start learning how to grapple. And then that's where I started like going all the way into jiu-jitsu.
And here in California?
Yeah, in California.
Especially California, man. It's dangerous out here, man. Regulation. You know, you fight on an Indian casino, they let y'all do anything.
Yeah, we had a bunch of pro guys that would go out to like, you know, Saboba Casino, and it's like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we'd have guys fighting, like the stable of Saboba guys that would come out. And they weren't pros, but they would just go get beat up by up-and-coming pros. And they were just there every year. It was a real shit show.
Have you done smokers? Give me a smoker story.
I'm the first and only person in the state of Florida to be arrested for throwing a smoker.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I got arrested for throwing a smoker.
It was your gym that you had?
Yeah. I had a gym.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Where did you out?
No,
who called the cops?
A rival gym in the area, yeah.
Damn.
A rival gym. And I remember vividly because I had just gotten surgery after my Kenny Florian fight, so I'm still on crutches. And I had a gym.
You fought Kenny Florian?
Yeah.
You fought Kenny Florian.
Yeah. So I had a gym. It was in a warehouse, and we shared space with a gymnastics place. So it's in a warehouse. So that automatically just sounds bad. And we had a cage in the gym in a warehouse. So I threw smokers, right? And this was the second one that I did. And I mean, I had cops there on the first one. I had one of my students, he was a cop, he was a referee. So I'm thinking, it's all good. You know, it was all good, right? It was all good. But then one of the rival schools in the area called the cops on me and said that we were throwing illegal fights.
That's nasty business. That's dirty business.
It's dirty business, right? So the fight's going on. I'm in crutches, you know, saying, you know, doing my thing, politicking like the mayor, like, thanks for coming, everybody. You guys are the best. And I shit you not, man. As soon as the fights are going on, the cops show up at the door. I'm like, oh, come on in, man. We got the whole thing. And, you know, I thought they'd come in to support. And as soon as they came in, man, one dude got knocked out so bad. As soon as they walked in, this dude got knocked out. Bap! This my man went down face first. He had the little Tweety bird. Tweet, 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 tweet. He's looking up at the lights. He thought he saw God. And the cops was like, what is going on here? And then they just investigated and was like, we're going to check this out. A week later, they was like, what you did was illegal. Threw me in jail.
They threw you in jail
for that?
Threw me in jail
Not even a fine?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, they came back. They called me on the phone and was like, hey, what you did is throwing illegal fights. They're not sanctioned, this, that, and the third. We're going to come and get you. I was like, all right, can you, give me a minute, man. I'll get my stuff together. Yeah, man, put me in jail for a day.
What the?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Because, at the time, especially early, everybody needed like some sort of competition, some feeder system.
Yeah, for sure. And this was before Florida had amateur fights. And so because of that whole situation, it was kind of a big deal in Florida. And I was very critical. I was like, yo, y'all don't got amateur fights. How are my guys supposed to get experience? They started amateur MMA in Florida. So I consider myself a martyr for amateur MMA in Florida.
Wow.
I did time for you guys.
Yeah.
I
You're
did
welcome,
time
guys.
for you guys.
24 hours.
Yeah, I did time. Yeah, I did about 5 hours in a jail cell.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
For that type of violation.
It is
You
a long
shouldn't have
time.
been.
I shouldn't have been there in the
That's
first
so
place.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, that was my experience with smokers.
Underdog fantasy.
Is
Nailed
the
it.
easiest place to play fantasy sports. It's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. And guess what? We use it here on the Casuals MMA show. David, tell us a little bit about how the app works.
My friends, pick whether your favorite players will have a higher or lower stat total in this week's game or event or whatever have you for a chance to win big. You could win up to 1,000 times your money in a single night.
Wow.
Night. Pick between 2 and 8 players or fighters to build a pick'em entry. Also make rival pick, which pits 2 players against each other. You could do whatever you like.
Nick, tell us what your picks are for UFC Fight Night Saudi Arabia, Adesanya versus Imavov. And they better be good or we're going to make fun of you.
Well, don't worry, you guys. I have 7 picks. 7 of them. I got Izzy, 25 minutes on the over.
I don't know about that.
Okay, I'm going higher. I think it's going to go decision. I got Mike Davis higher on 1.5 takedowns.
Mike Davis,
I think
sick.
he's going to get some takedowns.
I like that.
I got Shamil, 1.5 takedowns. I'm going higher on that.
I think he's going to get 2.
I think he's going to get 2. I think Terrence McKinney is going to get lower than 21 significant strikes. I think he's going to KO this young lad.
Okay, good. Wow.
I got Rosenstruck lower than 18.5 strikes, significant strikes. I got him on the lower.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I would go higher, but okay.
Okay, I'm going to go higher then.
All right.
You've convinced me.
Wow, that was fast.
There you go.
Then I got Sergey higher on the knockouts. I think he's going to knock out Rosenstruck. And for my final, I got Michael Venom Page lower than 63 significant strikes.
Guys, sign up with the promo code TheCasuals to claim your free pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. I repeat, visit UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with our promo code TheCasuals to claim your free pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Play with your boys, have some fun, and let's all giggle together when we win. So your first fight was just
Kumites.
pro. And or Kumites.
Yeah. Well, so back in the day, in Florida, they was doing shoot fighting, like the old Bart Vale system of shoot fighting.
Yeah.
So they was doing that back in '95, and that's what I did for. Well, actually '96. So that was my first experience of fighting another human being. Was in '96, doing the Bart Vale shoot fighting.
Is that like just Vale Tudo?
It was.
Or
It
what's
was
the
like
difference?
we had these little cheap gloves that like I mean they didn't even. It was just like oven mitt gloves with fingers sticking out.
The ones
Yeah.
that enter the dragon?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we had these little cheap gloves, and we had like the cotton shin guards that we wore, and that was kind of what we considered amateur in a way.
Wow.
Yeah, like kind of, but it was just called shoot fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's how that happened.
Man.
And then it wasn't sanctioned in Florida, and anybody with a ring, because they didn't even make cages back then, would throw up a ring inside of a bar and throw an event. And then me and my boys started doing those until it just kind of caught on.
Whoa, dude.
So how many fights did you have in that setting before you got to the UFC or before the UFC was even a thing?
So I had again, so it was kind of easy to get fights because there wasn't a lot of fighters. And it was like, yo, get this guy, he fights.
Can you make 185 tonight?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
But I fought my very second MMA fight And as you see, I don't know if it's Rodney Brown. It was at the Ybor Valley Tudo. That's in Tampa.
Wow.
I fought a guy who was 225 pounds. I was 150 pounds.
What the fuck?
I showed up to fight another guy who was 150. He didn't show up, and his opponent didn't show up. And the matchmaker was like, "Come on, man, you here?" And I was like,
no.
Don't be a coward. Don't be a coward.
I was like, all right. And we did it. I ended up beating him. And next thing I know, man, it just started rolling. I had,
Damn, 4 fights in 1 year back then?
Yeah. It was just, boom, rolling them back and forth. Well, one of those happened to be in...
one same night.
Yeah, same night. And the dude, as you see there, Ed Lutz. So I fought Ed Lutz. He came out the crowd. Yeah.
Wait,
he was
you're telling me a dude...
Yeah, so...
Somebody pulled out.
Yeah,
Pulled out.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
So like, it was a tournament. It was a 4-man tournament, 4-man lightweight tournament, and I beat the first guy, and the guy on the other side who was supposed to fight me got hurt in his fight. So they made an announcement on the microphone.
Anybody want to fight?
Anybody want to fight?
Yo,
everyone want to make
anybody. It was like, and this was a tournament, a 4-man tournament for $500.
$500.
Yeah, so I was like, so they got on the mic like, anybody want to fight in the finals?
You could win
And
500.
yeah, and this dude came out. They let him borrow some shorts, and
Did he have any training?
I don't think so. I mean, he ran across like soon. as
You
the
beat
bell
up a
rang-
civilian.
I mean, first round, rear naked choke.
He ran and jumped in the air, and I caught him in the air, and I threw him down, and just. And I was like,
debut.
I was like, give me my money. I walked out of there. I
Easiest
was like,
fight,
yeah,
huh?
that was the
How many
easy payday.
seconds was that? Does it say?
But 3 minutes.
Yeah, that took a while, man.
Yeah, it took a little bit.
Come
but
on.
Yeah, I mean, I was punching him for a while.
yeah.
I was punching him for a while. But yeah, so like I had those 5 fights before I got the shot to go to Japan.
Oh, damn, Scott Bills, you fought this guy 2 times in a row.
Yeah. And I fought. Then I got the call to go to Japan. I actually got the call to go to Japan before, and they wanted me to fight Mock Sakurai at like 170, and I was so scared. I was like, oh man, I hope I don't get this passport. And I didn't. Yeah,
I hope I lose.
yeah, I was like, I said yes, and I was gonna do it, but I was like, I hope the passport doesn't come through. And it didn't. And so then they actually booked me to fight Kyle Uno.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
How was that like an American going over to Japan?
Oh, it was scary as hell.
Yeah.
It really was. But the organization was fantastic.
Was that when it was like run by like the Yakuza? And all
Well, so that was the thing. I don't know if Shudo was ever run by the Yakuza because they was very critical of like Pride and all and Pancrase. They were critical of them. They would always be like, "We're the only real organization in Japan. We're the real one. Those other ones are works." So I don't know if they had that influence of Yakuza, but it was really scary, man. It was like going over to Japan and like just a lot of Japanese people.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
They're everywhere.
Yeah,
They must have loved you, though. They love foreigners.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, you should have saw me in China. They was like, oh,
Taking
my God.
pictures of
They taking
you?
pictures of me. I was like, yo,
While you're eating.
yeah.
Oh, they do. I've seen
Yeah,
so many
they-
TikToks.
yeah, they
Did you think they were touching you, too?
No, they weren't even.
Can I touch your hair?
Some people didn't even want to take pictures with me. They just wanted to take pictures of me.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
That's
like they'll stand over there
Yeah.
and then they'll be like, thank you, and they'll just walk away.
Yeah, they
those
was
are my
like-
peoples. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my peoples. I know them well. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, Japan. But Japan was cool, man. The train system is
So good.
absurd.
So
I mean, no, but it's absurd because like you can't read it properly because all the names
Well,
sound
yeah,
the same.
dude,
I was
'cause
like,
you
yo,
don't read
yeah, I
Japanese,
know.
dog.
but even the words that were in English, I was like, yo, I thought I just left this station. And so I was like, I'm not taking the trains no more.
Dude, what an experience. 5 fights in, you go to Japan, fight Kyle Uno, and also Gomi was on that card? Damn.
Yeah, man. It was, those were the days that. Fighting Shudo for a lighter fighter back then.
That was
the
it,
That was
right?
the pinnacle.
That was the platform,
that was it. Like,
Yeah.
and that's why like the rest of my career was just icing. Cherry on top because that's what I wanted to do was fight and shoot. And I did it so early, so the rest of my career was like, whatever. UFC, okay. I turned down my first UFC contract.
Because I heard you talk about that. You said that was for a title fight.
Yeah, for the UFC lightweight title, they wanted me to fight Jens Pulver. I had already beaten him, but I was like, man, I don't care about this.
Damn.
I was like, I fought in Shudo. I didn't care about UFC.
What year was that?
That was like 2000 probably.
Yes, UFC wasn't that.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't that big. So in fact, like I fought, as you see, 2001. I fought Stephen Pauling, who was Max Holloway's uncle.
Wait,
No way.
what?
Yeah, he's Stephen Pauling. So I ended up fighting him when they wanted me to fight Jens Pulver. I was like, no, I'm going to Hawaii and fighting the Super Brawl.
Hawaii all day.
Dude, the way you make fight decisions is hilarious.
But that's pretty tight, though. Like, to get like a trip to another
Hey, do you want to fight?
state?
Jens Pulver, UFC? No, I want to get a spam musubi.
That's exactly. I was like, I'm trying to go to Hawaii, dog.
Trying to
I don't
shave
care about,
ice.
yeah.
Because look, I would looked at the Jens Pulver fight, and you could pull up the clip. The finish you hit on that.
Oh, yeah.
That low inverted heel hook. I'm like, dude, that's so ahead of its time. Like,
I was doing, that's what I'm saying, man.
that was the shit that you were doing.
I was doing
the
that stuff
you were on.
before everybody.
So there's a sequence where you get up on the cage, you put them, and then you just roll for a heel hook.
Jens Pulver, dude, wearing shoes. I forgot that you do that shit.
Yeah.
It's like Art Jimison kind of.
And you were like, did you have that going in? You're like, I'm going to heel hook this motherfucker.
I did. Well, because I knew I couldn't take him down. Like I said, man, this dude wrestled at like Boise State. I couldn't wrestle for shit.
Boom.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Look at that. Like, look at the sequence, too. He's a Danaher Death Squad guy.
And it's all it feels like everyone's doing leg locks now.
Well, like, how rare do you see him get finished, right? In an MMA fight, and an MMA fight in general. And for you to be doing this back then is like fucking wild.
I know. Well, I mean, for me, like that was just it. Like, that was my game, was to do the flashy stuff. And I still try to teach that and instill that in people now. Like, you got to be a little different than everybody. Like, MMA is so trendy, but if you break the trends, you have an advantage over everybody. But most people are afraid to. They're like, no, I was talking to Corey Sandhagen once, and I was like, yo, have you thought about doing this? And he said, well, who else does that? I was like, no one, which means that you have an advantage because no one else is doing it. But I didn't sell him hard enough on it. So, but that's the thing, man. Like, you got to be a little different than everybody else if you want to be successful. Think of all the guys that are successful. They're a little bit different somewhere until everybody else catches up. And then the ones that are successful, a little bit different somewhere.
So what are some trends from like your mind that you feel like are kind of prevalent right now, that you feel like there's going to be a switch soon where that's not the way to go anymore? Right now, it seems like wrestling all day Dagestani guys.
That is.
Are we going to see that forever?
That's exactly. I mean, think about it. Like, when somebody gets taken down, what's the first thing they do? They leg lace, Dagestani handcuffs. It's all the same. It's all the same. I'm like, we got to find a different mold because they're prepared for this now. Like, when Khabib was doing that stuff, he was the first one to do it. Yeah. So he ran through Michael Johnson and Barbosa because he was the first one to do it. Now, like, everybody's prepared for it, and they're starting to catch up. I mean, if like Dustin Poirier is a jiu-jitsu guy, and he was able to hold off Islam for a while just because everybody's starting to catch up. So it's just a matter of time before everybody catches up.
So you see a time when that's no longer effective?
I do.
Damn,
100%.
It's so hard to see right now, though.
It seems like that, right? It seems like that. But I'm going to go back to this fight.
Yeah.
I think leg locks are going to be the difference.
All the K-guard stuff that everyone's playing?
Yeah, I think, well, you see, it's all about application. Like jiu-jitsu guys just have to find a safe way to do it. And they just, all the great, brilliant jiu-jitsu minds are still doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And they just haven't really been able to cross over to do MMA, so.
Because, like, there's, like, the Ty Rotolo
Yeah.
Cage.
I think those dudes are going to be fantastic.
They're going to bridge the gap probably, right?
100%, because they're young, they got the athleticism, they're dynamic, they got such a strong skill set. I think they're going to really be able to, like you said, bridge the gap.
They're going to be monsters.
For sure. There's no doubt about that. I think that if you have that danger factor, that's it. Like, just having that danger factor, no one's going to even want to take you down. Like, the wrestlers the Dagestani wrestlers are not going to want to take you down. They're going to have to strike with you.
Yeah, because I thought like Ryan Hall was going to make a switch when he came in with him just doing the Imanari roll over and over. But now I was like, oh, wait, that got stopped immediately.
Well, here's the thing with Ryan. And Ryan's a little older. And after that, I started doing some work with him. And when I tell you, and I don't mean to say this in a bad way, but it's just, he was so unprepared. He was extreme. Like, he didn't have a lot of testing going on with his systems and his form. Like, he was unprepared to use it. It still works. He was just unprepared. So when we look at that, it sucks because we look at that and we go, see, I told you leg locks don't work. Go back to wrestling class. I'm like, I'm telling you, when you get a young guy who can do what Ryan Hall does, you guys are in trouble.
Rotolos.
I'm telling you, the Rotolos, when they come out, if they come out and can start really nailing guys with them, keeping them threatened with them leg locks, everybody's in trouble.
You think that's like the next wave of like influx is like the young jiu-jitsu players?
I think so. I mean, I hit up Cody Steele and was like, please,
Cody,
do MMA, please.
I hit him up. I said, Cody, please don't abandon your jiu-jitsu.
Because he's been throwing hands.
I know.
I've been seeing him scrapping a lot, and I'm like, dude, just take these guys down a little bit.
I said, please don't abandon your jiu-jitsu. You got to keep it working for you, man, because like if you abandon it, like that's your advantage. And just because guys who suck at it and it doesn't work for them, doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. And that's the reality, is that when we see guys who suck at it and it doesn't work for them, we think it doesn't work. Yeah. Like we see a guy on their back and they do a crappy armbar, and Joe Rogan's like, "Oh, he's almost got it." I'm like, "It's not even close." I'm like, "This guy sucks. It's not even close." And then it doesn't work, and everybody goes, "See, you get pounded out.
Jiu-jitsu doesn't work in MMA.
Jiu-jitsu doesn't work.
Yeah,
you can't win off your back." And I go, "Man, this guy sucked though. Like his application was terrible." So like, I think that's the reality of it. Is like we've abandoned the mindset of good jiu-jitsu because wrestling has been so dominant. And that's what happens. We started learning jiu-jitsu from wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. The application is wrong.
Because I do see a lot of guys, like when they play off their back in jiu-jitsu, they go up for like the quick subs, and then it seems like they don't really have a system to like sweep or get back on top.
They don't, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
I do, though.
I
tell you, I was doing leg locks in 2000. I've developed systems for all that, and I've been trying to incorporate that with a bunch of other guys. Like I do some work like Aljamain Sterling and Dennis Bazooka. I started working with him on some stuff.
That's why Aljo looked so good in his last fight.
Yo, that fight against Mosvar, man.
We were rooting for him.
He looked so good in that fight.
He did.
And like I think a lot of people were counting him out because Mosvar is such a beast, right? Yeah. But like the way he was able to like handle him at that weight class, I was like, yo, he could make a fucking run for the title.
I thought that if he got past Mosvar, that would have gave him the confidence. And I thought that he has a style, probably the only guy that has a style to beat Ilya.
For real.
Yeah.
I really think so.
To tie him up and slow him down because he's so dynamic.
And he's in and out. He moves really fast. I think that his biggest thing is that he's such a grappler just instinctively that he just doesn't want to do damage when he gets guys down. And that affects him. That hurts him. And then we talked about that of instead of like getting the back and pulling guys on top of you, why not stay on top of them and beat them up?
Make him give up your back, right?
Hurt him more. But it hasn't registered to him yet. Like he's just so instinctive to take the back and choke guys out. And why wouldn't you be? Like he choked a lot of guys out that way. So I get it.
Yeah, I'm noticing you have a lot of very close relationships with fighters. Does that get pretty? Like, first of all, how do you decide who am I going to train, who am I going to help? But you're also on the commentating team. How does that all not get confusing or people get pissed at you?
Well, I got a lot of relationships with a lot of fighters.
Yeah,
especially the black ones. For whatever reason,
I don't get it. You're Chinese.
I know I'm Chinese,
but all these black people
and they think they are Morgan Freeman. You know what I'm saying? They come up with me thinking, I tell you the truth, but every time somebody goes, "Who do you think you look like?" They always name some 70-year-old black guy to put me in the box.
I said Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah,
so.
Thank you very much for that.
Young blood.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, thank you very much for that. But I do have a lot of relationships with fighters. I kind of gravitate towards the grappling-oriented fighters because they're more willing to be open-minded to listen to different ideas. Like strikers are more willing, oh no, man, I just want to stay on my feet and bang out. And wrestlers are still like, nah, I don't want to ever go to my back. So I want guys that are open to trying anything.
Yeah.
Just try it.
Because I know you train Sean Brady.
Yeah.
Work with Sean Brady.
Ooh. Yeah.
And that dude, he beat Craig Jones in the jiu-jitsu match.
That's
right?
just wild.
He can compete in straight up grappling rules, and then you see him in MMA fights, and you're like, dude, this guy's grappling is like next.
Yeah, he's a savage, man. He's still trying to learn, and that's what I mess with him. I've been doing a lot of work with Sean Brady, Jillian Robertson. I've been messing with her since she's been 15, and. Again, like Aljamain, I watch his sparring and we talk about stuff. Joe Pyfer once, he's in Philly too, so I'm going to get a little bit of work with him. But I'm just, again, like if you're open-minded to different ideas and trying to break some of the trends, I just give it to people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I give you free game. Like I told Aljo, I said, man, I don't want a dime from you. I just want to see you do well.
You're about to get a lot of calls after the podcast.
Hey,
can I get that free coaching?
Can you watch my tape?
Watch my tape.
No, real talk, man. I give guys free game. And that is why when I get on the broadcast, I talk my trash. I talk my trash because I give away free game. And I give it to you, and if you don't use it, I'm going to talk about you.
Yeah. You always got hot. You always got hot takes. We were laughing like I always feel like you're against the commentary team. You're always the odd man out. Like I felt like you were getting bullied by Watterson and fucking what's his name? And,
Paul Felder.
Paul Felder. When you were defending.
When I was defending Mark Smith. Well, the reality is like when we do that show, we understand what it is. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
And Mark Smith, a friend of mine, I wasn't gonna let everybody come down on him that easily.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care. Like if he stopped the fight, didn't stop, I don't care.
It was also could have gone either way.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't care about that stuff.
I want to bring up this fight because where were you in the mindset of your career?
Oh,
because this is pretty wild to see on your resume. That
it's
wild.
Yeah, I was actually supposed to fight Genki Sudo. This was my first UFC.
Shit.
Yeah, I was. So
Wait, this is your first fight?
My first fight in
UFC?
UFC. Yeah, it was June 21st or 29th, 2001.
Oh wow, Juneteenth. This guy.
Yeah.
Hey man, you're not Chinese. You're not Chinese, man.
Yeah, and I was thinking, and like for me, I was like, yo, I know he had just won the Jiu-Jitsu World Championships.
Yeah,
and I know the guy who he had beaten in the finals, Edson Denise. So Edson's a Florida guy, and we was training together. So like, I was like, yo, jiu-jitsu. I was like, man, I'm gonna bust this dude.
Like right here, but he pulled guard.
He pulled
what
guard.
Were you thinking?
I said, man, I felt. You know what I was actually thinking? God, honest truth, I said, man, he's so weak.
You hear that, BJ? You weak motherfucker.
I said, yo, he is so weak, man. But he was fast though. I remember him being fast. But I had it in my head, like I had this premonition in my head that I was going to fake the right. And he was going to dip his head. I was going to fake the right, and he was going to dip his head and run right into this left hook. I saw it. I've been dreaming about it. I've manifested it.
Let's see what happens.
I visualized it.
Nope.
That wasn't it right there.
Yeah.
But that was the right.
setup.
Yeah, that was the right to get him to think about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And again, like I was like, he's so weak, man, he can't even take me down. But yeah, so in my head, fake the right. He's going to dip his head.
Yeah.
Bow. And I thought that was in my head, and I saw the moment of opportunity, like it's gonna come up soon. Or he tried the little omoplata here. I said, man, if you don't get your little,
Oh my gosh.
get off me.
Were you expecting this guy to be this flexible in this fight?
Well, I tell you what, I realized he was really flexible when we were in the weigh-in, the rules meeting, and Frank Shamrock was in his corner, and Frank said, hey, if you're in your guard, can you heel him to the back of the head? And I'm like, what does that?
That's illegal, sir.
I said, who does that? I said, he must be really flexible.
That's mean as hell.
Yeah.
Dude.
So you see that?
Oh,
there it goes
there.
right there. You see, I faked the right. Look, I faked the right.
Oh, he was almost there.
Damn, it was so close.
Yeah, so I faked the right through the left, and next thing I know, I'm looking up, and I'm like, what happened? I'm like, yo, what happened? And then I didn't realize I was knocked out till I got in the back.
Oh shit.
Oh
Yeah,
damn.
I didn't realize I was knocked out until I got in the back. I honest the truth, man. I saw the doctor in the back, and I said, hey, man, what time do I go on?
Oh
He
shit.
said, man, you already went on, man. It's over. You got knocked out. I said, no. I said, call Dana White and see if we can do a real do-over. I said, I want another.
Like in that moment.
In that moment, I was like, I want another chance. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. I was so heartbroken
Damn.
and embarrassed, and yeah, it sucked.
And was that the first time you ever been knocked out?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Up until that point, I thought I was invincible.
I mean, your record.
Yeah.
You're beating everybody in the world.
Yeah, except for Kauno. I was dogging everybody out. I thought I was unbeatable. I didn't even think I could get knocked out was a possibility.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, let's do this again. Let's run this back. And yeah, so for 2 months I was like, heartbroken and beat up, but then I got another opportunity to fight a couple months later.
And how'd you feel going into that? Was that one of those things where you're like, dude, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy?
Well, yeah. So I mean, but it was wild because it was the very first fight in Las Vegas history at the Mandalay Bay UFC 33.
Because it just got sanctioned.
It just
no
got
way.
sanctioned. Very first fight of the night. Me and Fabiano Iha kicked it off. So I'm the very first fight ever in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Against Fabiano.
Another
Damn.
pioneer, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, he really was.
Another pioneer moment.
And so what I did was
Chuck Liddell was on the card. Yves Edwards, Matt Serra.
Oh, look. Eve Edwards, who people call you that
Yeah,
too.
my brother. My brother, yeah. And shout out Eves. We got a little short film out. Did very well in the film festivals over the year last year.
Boy, plug the movie. What's the movie?
Yeah,
what's the movie
called
quick?
Brotherhood. I got another one coming out in a couple days called Grace Point. We're doing the premiere. If y'all want to come,
Absolutely.
yeah. We got the premiere on the 30th.
Well, tell us about that movie really quick while we're here. What is that about?
Oh, it's about addiction. A young man trying to find his way to the rehab center.
Wow. Oh, so it's like a dramatic role.
It's
heavy
a very heavy show movie. Johnny Lowe,
Okay.
Rob Lowe's son, and Andrew McCarthy, Sean Carrigan, Jim Parrick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't doing student films.
Oh no, this ain't a student film.
You think this guy's doing?
Nah, this guy only does TIFF and Sundance. Tribeca.
Trust me. I'll do a student film, but
Don't say that on camera. Or you can
very high for it.
Dean Thomas, we need you. Aljamain Sterling, Chris Weidman are actually in it as well.
Wow.
But they cut Chris Weidman's lines out, so
So is he even in it?
he's still in. They got a little clip in.
He's just an extra.
Yeah, they got a
Is
little clip in. Yeah.
is that the UFC champion in the background?
Yeah.
That's
Premium extra. Man.
But yeah, so this fight here with Fabiano Iha, I remember it was the first time I actually ever came to LA. My first time in LA.
No fires.
No fires.
No fires.
But
not back then.
So I came to LA, I trained at Raw with Rico Chiapparelli and Frank Trigg and Vladimir Matyshenko.
Wow.
Vladimir's been in the game for so long.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
He picked me up from the airport.
No
yeah,
way.
Vladimir picked me up from the airport, and I trained at Raw for a week. And the day I was leaving, September 11th,
No.
2001.
Holy shit.
I'm at the airport. I look up at the screens, and I saw it happen while I'm at the airport. I was like, not my problem. I'm getting on the plane.
I'm going to Florida.
Yeah, I was like, not my problem. I'm getting on a plane. And everything shut down.
Holy shit.
Everything shut down. I got stuck out here for another week with no money. Yeah.
And just hanging out in LA.
Hanging out in LA.
That day.
That day, yep.
Right, you're alive.
Another
as a
pioneer.
moot.
Yeah.
Hey, another pioneer, dude. What?
That
You-
day, yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When you said you had no money, what were you doing for money to even make ends meet while you're doing this fighting?
I had worked at the House of Blues as a bouncer.
Beating people up.
Yep. Well,
Being nice.
yeah, just being nice.
Just being nice.
Hey, man, can you stop that? They're like, okay.
Yeah. Basically, like as a bouncer, if you're nice, and then plus when you're smaller, they just assume, and like the bigger guys are like, hey, get him. You know, the bigger guys are like afraid of, Dean, go over there and get him. And like people kind of saw that vibe and was like, he must know something.
Yeah, something must be off with this guy.
They was cool.
Dang. So that's how you literally made a living while doing this.
Yeah,
Just bouncing. Wow. And I feel like, man, it's crazy how lucky fighters are now. They can be like start a fighting career and have like 80 endorsements or do like influencing or social media or
Yeah,
start
they're like,
podcast.
oh, I gotta do this post and they're gonna pay me. I'm like,
Lucky.
what? Yeah, what?
Yeah.
I ain't had that.
He's like, I did a 4-man tournament for $2. God damn.
I actually, my very first like real job when I started fighting, I was activating cell phones. That's how long ago it was, where people would buy cell phones from the store and to get them turned on, they had to call the call center, and I worked at the call center, activating cell phones, giving people credit checks and
What?
yeah.
Damn. I didn't know that was even a step.
Yeah, that
Act
not
like-
anymore. Not anymore. Like I don't know how old you are, but that was so long ago that
We're at 30, so
yeah. Well, this was 20 years ago. You were like 10.
I was semen somewhere.
You were doing
I was with my dad.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, this was over. This was 25 years ago, actually. So you were like 5, and I was
Damn.
activating cell phones.
How much did that pay?
Man, it was like I was getting paid like $5 an hour or something like that. I think it was like $6 an hour or something.
Damn.
See, the new fighters, man, they got it. They don't have it as easy, huh?
Yeah, Phil. Stop complaining,
I'm telling you,
dude.
man,
You got a Boost Mobile ad on your Instagram page.
Yeah, man, I got no love for them dudes, man. That's I'm hard on them because I'm like, dude, y'all got everything. Y'all got all the resources. Y'all got all this like nutrition. Like if you're in the UFC and you got the PI, there's no reason why
That's
you
wild.
should never make weight.
Yeah, for real.
Tell us about the
They
PI
get
for
your meals made for you, right?
What do they get? Tell us, because I don't think a lot of the audience knows what that actually entails.
Like everybody's like, oh man, UFC needs to pay more. I'm like, and these guys are fine, but the resources they have to become a good fighter is just, I mean, it's right there for them. Like you can go to the PI and you get like free everything. Free food. They give you 3 meals a day. They do all your food for you.
Dope.
Yeah, you get like massages, and they do tests on you to see what you need more of and less of. And I mean, they have all these resources to be good. And if you don't take advantage of that, that's on you.
What are some complaints you hear from like the fighters that you're around, where they're just kind of talking about like the game nowadays? Like, what are some common things you hear
that bother you a
These
little bit?
knuckleheads.
Yeah, like what are some hot takes?
Hot take.
Give us
Oh
a hot
man,
take.
like in terms of fighters, like they're babies really. And me and me and John Wood was talking about it just like 10 minutes before I got here, because I'm like, yo, I don't know how you do it, man. Like he deals with a bunch of high level babies too. Like he's got Marab and he's just, I'm just like, yo, but I mean, all these guys what fighters want is a coach to confirm how good they are. And it's annoying as a coach. It really is.
Because your job is to tell them like, hey,
Your
you gotta
job
work
is
on
to
this.
tell them the truth.
Yeah.
And sometimes the truth is not convenient for them. And when it's not convenient for them, they look at you like you're a hater or negative, and they don't want you around. And you're like, well, I'm fine with that. That's why I only work with like 3 people. Yeah. But the job is to tell them the truth, and they don't want to hear the truth. All they want is somebody to tell them how great they are and hold pads for them so that they can feel great about themselves. Because hitting pads, man, you hit pads? Anybody hit pads?
Yeah.
Like it makes you, it'll make you feel like you are the best fighter in the world.
Oh, dude, I think I can fight. And that we spar, I'm like, I hate myself.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm like, what am I doing right now?
You hit pads and the sound of that, especially you get a good pad holder, you be feeling like $1 million.
This guy makes me feel good. Stop lying to me.
Yeah.
I don't more like Dean, dude.
I'm like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
I'm doing all the work.
Especially
I'm
when
so
you get
bad.
all that, man, you feel like $1 million. But then that also reinforces the idea that I'm talking about. They just want somebody to make them feel good about themselves. So like that to me is kind of the biggest. It's the biggest hindrance of a lot of fighters' progress is that they don't want to hear the truth.
And then they don't want to work with you, or they'll just
They don't want to work with you, and then they'll go, I need to find another squad. This guy.
Like, here's a perfect example. Like
your arch nemesis.
Like Stephen A. Smith. Why would one post this?
I look at this and I think to myself like, why are you even hitting pads? You're not even good enough to hit pads. Like, why are you hitting pads? And I look at it, like, you ever see the videos like the old ladies and they're doing pad work?
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you even doing pads? You're not good enough to do pads.
It's true though.
But the trader's making money. That's why.
I know. And the
He's trying to
trainer's like, yeah, come on, Bap, you hear that?
But Stephen A. Smith feels good in this video.
Oh, he
Like,
feels great.
Feels good.
The fact that he posted it
Yeah.
is already.
I know. I don't know why he posted that. Like, he couldn't have thought anything good was going to come out of this. Like, what did he think was going to? What do you think he was going to say?
I kind of think he did. Think
My
this was good.
friend Jimmy Butler said.
No, he looks. Yeah, this is definitely just a personal trainer holding pads. You know, he's not like a boxing coach or anything. There's videos of like Drake boxing. Have you ever seen that guy
Yeah,
box?
Yeah, it's a terrible.
And it's just
He's like, and he's like got his head cocked to the side.
Yeah,
He's like,
You know what, that's not swag, man. That's bullshit.
And then he ends up, he's kind of like 4 jabs.
yeah, it's pretty good.
It's like, and I'm like, yo, man, like, and I don't know, it really does annoy me. Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, and they might feel the same way about fighters try and rap. You know, maybe that's.
Whoa,
you know,
why are
they
you
might
calling
feel
out
the same way,
Woodley?
like,
Why are you calling out Woodley?
no,
Dude?
am
I
not
love that song.
You're not gonna do this to my friend. Not on this
dare
show.
you.
Yeah, you're not gonna do my
How
friend
dare
like
you
that.
do that?
No,
You're Chinese. You can't talk about that. Hip
no,
hop.
fighters that rap, and some of them, you know, got a little, like Bryce Mitchell got bars, man.
Oh,
Bryce
yeah, yeah,
Mitchell?
yeah.
Got bars.
The Southern
Yeah.
twang is nice,
Yeah.
though. You know.
Like somebody asked me the other day about like who's the best rapper, and I said in terms of lyrically, like the way they write and put the words in, Bryce by easily.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like it shocked me. Like I wasn't expecting Bryce Mitchell to drop bars like that.
His name is Thug Nasty.
Makes
That counts for something. That's a pretty good nickname to be a rapper.
We were also looking at other fights that were just on YouTube. I did not know you fought Jeremy Stevens. It almost seems like two different, not to generations,
it
but
does,
it kind of
does,
threw me
yeah.
off a little bit. I was
He's
like,
21, dude. Look at him. He's so young.
I know it's like actually embarrassing now. I'm like, yo, like they're like, especially with Clay Guida just getting the axe. I'm like,
Yeah, I just saw that today.
I'm like, yo, there's no one left for me to like
come back.
No,
make
there's,
a
there's. I mean,
when did you retire? Like officially?
I officially retired in 2013.
Oh,
and
wow,
Clay
okay.
Guida was the last guy that I had fought that was still, you know, in the UFC.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no, they got rid of. There's no more generation. You know,
He's
like
done.
Yeah, he's done. That's it for me. But yeah, I fought Jeremy Stevens. This was his very first fight in the UFC.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a tough, that's a
sucks
tough
for
draw,
him.
dude. off the jump.
And I got a bonus in that fight. And
You got submission of the year for the armbar, huh?
Yeah, and I bought my Lexus off of that. you know, man, black people, Chinese people, you know what I'm saying? We love our cars. We get a little bit of money, man. We don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? Bought a car with it. What was I thinking? Yeah. So again, but you know, I'm not advocating pulling guard, but I'm just saying like you should be.
If you could do it,
you should be able to win fights.
Who do you feel like has the best jiu-jitsu in like MMA right now? Like I know like people always say Charles Oliveira, but there's some deep cuts in there that you see that people may not know yet.
It's hard to say because just because you have the best jiu-jitsu doesn't mean you have the best jiu-jitsu for MMA. Mm-hmm. And I mean in terms of like being on top, probably Brady. Mm. But overall jiu-jitsu, probably Gilbert.
Yeah, for real.
You know?
His get-ups when he fought Colby not Colby. Who was the last guy he fought?
Brady.
Brady, yeah.
Brady, Sean Brady.
Like the grappling.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing.
Like, it was so fun to watch.
And that's why I say Gilbert's probably a better overall jiu-jitsu player than Brady. Mm. But for MMA, you know, Brady just knows how to simplify and neutralize. I mean, but he couldn't hold him down. Yeah. You know, he couldn't get an advantage position over him. But but from a bottom perspective, probably Charles maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he uses it as his crutch.
When he gets knocked down in his closed guard or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, as we saw Islam, because that's his crutch, when you're not afraid of it, he's got no crutch, as we saw what Islam did to him. Like, I thought he panicked when Islam was like, what? I'm not afraid of this. Blew right through him. Yeah.
Because in that Dustin fight, when he fought Islam, you're like, man, Dustin is stopping a lot of these takedowns. Mm-hmm. And it kind of had to change how Islam had to approach that fight a little bit. Like, I don't know if he was trying to box him up that whole fight, and because he couldn't get him on his back, and every time he did, he popped right back up until that last exchange. It was pretty crazy.
Well, see, that's my point. Again, as we get further and evolve into the game, that system of fighting, people catch up to it. Yeah. Like Dustin did his homework, and Dustin's not a great wrestler. Like, I don't know if people understand that. Like, he doesn't come from a wrestling background. He comes from a jiu-jitsu background, and he was still able to neutralize a lot of that and get back up. Now, imagine, like, that's why I was excited to see Armin fight him, because, you know, Armin can wrestle with him. Yeah. And if he can just stop some of those things, then he might have had a chance.
Yeah, we were talking the other day about this piece of news that came out, the GFL. Have you heard? Okay. Well, I didn't say anything yet. Hey, I didn't say anything yet, man. Why'd you chuckle?
No, hold on, man. Like, let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, what's the lead in?
Is there a way we can see a comeback by any chance?
There is no chance.
What a question.
Zero. Like, I tell you, I can't predict a lot of things that happen in MMA. I can predict this. I'm not fighting in GFL.
What if the money was so delicious, dude?
I don't fight for money, man.
What if it was so entertaining, dude? What if they're like, Dean, you could do 3 walkouts, Dean? He's like, son.
The only way I'm fighting the GFL is if they hold a show in a black box.
Ooh.
Yeah, about the size of this place. Yeah.
In between rounds, improv set. Yeah. All right. Do you like it though? Do you like the concept at least, giving people opportunity, make some extra money, or do you think it's like
all right?
tough?
So like I said, it's my job to tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
And I'm not rooting against the GFL. I don't root for organizations to fail. I want organizations to make it because we need organizations for fighters to make money.
More opportunity. Yeah.
For sure, because a lot of fighters, after they get out of the UFC or just coming up when there's no opportunity, what do? They end up spiraling downward. So we need these organizations. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that, with my experience in MMA, since going all the way back to the beginning, shows that it come out too ambitious, don't work. And when you come out this ambitious, it sounds like you're playing with monopoly money.
Ah, yeah.
And to me, I'm like, if they were like, if they cut back a little bit and said, hey, we got an organization, we're only going to sign this many guys. But I mean, we got 300 fighters signed, and they're giving these signing bonuses. And I'm listening to these numbers that some of these fighters are signed. I'm like, yo, they had retirement plans, and I'm like, y'all haven't even thrown an event yet.
Yeah,
it's it just sounds like the fantasy league that we've always wanted.
Yeah. It's like a dream league.
Yeah, it's a dream league. And again, I'm not rooting for them. I mean, I'm not rooting against them. I'm hoping that something like this can come around. But we got to understand that MMA is a star-driven sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a star problem in the UFC, much less the GFL than they were stars 10 years ago. Like, how do they expect 50-50 split revenue and you don't even know what the revenue is going to be because you don't know what these guys are drawing?
Really good point.
That's a really good point, actually.
Really good insight.
You know, the revenue doesn't matter with no money coming in.
Yeah, what's the revenue? Okay, you got $20. Split that.
It's like the PFL with
$20
Francis, right?
Yeah.
It's like they gave him all this money, and then now they can't afford apparently to pay the rest of their fighters.
They didn't build stars.
They don't have stars.
Yeah.
I mean, they just had this. They got Dakota Decheva, who's a star.
Great.
Yeah, she's legit.
Great.
I'm like, yo, please. I'm like, listen, if you guys like MMA, do this for MMA. Just trade her to the UFC.
Yeah.
You know, she belongs in the UFC. Just trade. Listen, get rid of Ankalaev in the UFC. Trade her for Ankalaev. We don't need Ankalaev. You know what I'm saying? He's not getting the title. We don't need this guy.
God. What a good take.
Trade her for Dakota.
Trade Ankalaev for Dakota.
Dakota's fun, dude.
You know what? I'm all about this take.
Ankalaev will fit right in at the PFL. Another guy that no one knows about that's really good.
Another Russian guy.
Yeah. Like those the 5 other tournament winners, I couldn't tell you one of them. Couldn't tell you one.
All Dagestani guys.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know anyone, or their stories.
No one knows the story. Yeah, they grew up in the mountains.
Wrestle Bears.
Yeah.
They're gonna win.
But so I don't root against these organizations. I just feel as though, and part of the reason is that I feel as though sometimes their focus is misplaced. They're always focusing on trying to dog the UFC or trying to be better than the UFC. It's like, dude, just focus on your organization. That's what I love about BKFC.
Oh, so fun.
I love.
They put on good fights.
They put on good fights.
People wanna watch
and
it.
Feldman is just like, yo, man, I don't care about the UFC. I'm friends with them. I'm just trying to do my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't try to compete with nobody. He's just like, yo, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
And it shows. And like we all get behind that. But these other organizations, they seem to be so hell bent on trying to make Dana look like a bad guy. And it just always backfires on them. Like, yo, just focus on your fighters and focus on doing your thing, and then maybe you have a better product, and we can get behind that.
So you're telling me a fight league with 26 different teams?
With general managers and managers.
26 is a lot, dude.
26.
How many teams is
That's
that?
26.
They're trying to do nationwide. They're trying to
not
do
like 4 teams, 26.
26 teams.
That's a lot of fighters.
I heard these signing bonuses, and like fighters are already getting paid from this league. I'm like, I said, dog, get your money now because in 2 years
You may not fight.
Yeah, you might not fight. Like the first fight is supposed to be in April, and I'm like,
It's close.
man, I hope, man.
Yeah, that's
I'm
really cool.
rooting for you, but it just seems like fake to me. It seems like a dream to me.
Because I used to always think the IFL was so cool.
That was fun.
Like that, like it seems like that's the model they're trying to build it after, but it just 26 teams. It seems like so many.
And you're right about this. And people go, yeah, we already seen the team thing. It doesn't work. But that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not saying that it doesn't work. Maybe the timing was wrong.
Yeah.
I think that there is a place for it. I mean, think about college sports. Like, I don't mind watching like college wrestling when you got two good teams going at
Absolutely.
it. Like, UFC Fight Pass puts that on.
The content and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that
Content.
stuff is
Love
awesome.
content.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
fun to watch.
So I wouldn't mind an MMA team thing. It's just
Gotta be done right.
start small.
Start with 10 teams.
Yeah.
Hey, start with just 5 teams, maybe. Not 26.
Yeah, I mean,
6 is so
you could do New York, Chicago, LA.
Big city.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Florida.
Yeah. South Florida. Just 5, 6 teams, boom. Have them fight it out.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. But 26 teams?
Man, talking to you, everyone talks about like, man, who's going to take the place of Dana White when he retires?
Dark
And everyone's
horse right here,
saying-
dude.
I'm saying that's racist. Don't say that.
Hey,
Don't ever talk to your Chinese brother like that, man. That's wild.
horse right here, dude.
Have you ever thought about, you love coaching. I mean, people look up to you. You're also amazing in commentary. You love entertainment. But would you ever consider a role like that, like being even for the
front man
UFC,
or something?
a VP at the UFC? Because honestly, the way you talk, I feel like fighters respect you. And you also get the business. And you're just fucking funny.
Wise.
No,
We need clips too on there. MMA internet needs clips.
Trade Uncle Liam.
Yeah, straight up. That's the first thing he does as president.
That's the
We're
best
trading
thing.
Uncle
It's too much responsibility. I don't like that level of responsibility. I like the freedom to come and go as I please. That's why I don't have a gym now. I just show up. When I'm in Philly, I show up Marquez MMA. When I'm in Miami, I show up at the Goat Shed. When I'm I just show up and I'm like, all right, y'all, peace. I'm out. I don't, what y'all want to do with this, y'all do with it. But I don't want that level of responsibility. That's why I wanted to be on the commentary team. People always ask me, oh man, do you want to sit at the desk or sit at the table?
What is that specific role? I feel like, can we get more Dean? But you're always like, you pop in like 3 minutes at a time.
I'm sitting behind them and I'm just there just to kind of see what they don't see.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sit with them and talk for 8 hours. I want to sit in my seat and
hang out
and be able to go to the bathroom when I want. And, holler at hoes in the audience. I mean, the girl's like, "Hey, girl, what's happening?"
Well, this is a perfect segue. I'd love to do this. Just all fun. I'd love you to rank your commentary team on a tier list.
Oh my goodness!
This will be so fun.
Okay.
So we have at
Is
the
that
top,
John Anik?
the S tier is best commentator. I'm only allow 3 spots for that, and you can move them around once we see them up there.
Okay.
Then we have great, which is like an A. Well, yellow will be a B, or this color, orange, and then we have a C here. But I'll give you only 3 at the top. Everyone else you can put on a grade if you want.
Okay,
But
so
we'll start
best-
with John Anik first. What are your thoughts on John Anik, and where would you put him?
He's at the top.
Yeah.
for sure.
He's the man.
Oh, he's S tier. Okay.
He's the man.
Oh yeah, his level of preparation is second to none.
Oh, I love
and
that.
yeah, he's so overly and always prepared, second to none.
Yeah. I'm always like, I love that he always reminds me too to go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
I'll
I
always go.
forget when he
Yeah.
goes, boom, Buffalo Wild Wings brought to you. I'm like, thanks, man.
He nails it.
All right, next, Michael Bisbig.
So
What are your
hold on, we
thoughts
got
on
great, solid.
bad and never give him a mic.
Throw him at the bottom.
No,
What are your thoughts on Mike as a commentator?
I'm trying to. I like Mike.
Yeah.
He talks a little too much for me. But he's
Put him in great for right now?
let's put him at great
great.
right now.
This is
A
great.
lot of banter when he's on.
He's so funny.
He's bantering a lot with the
Yeah.
commentators.
I mean, that's kind of fun sometimes.
It is.
But that's what I'm saying. But it might not be necessary for commentary, right? In terms of commentary.
It's a very specific role.
All right, check this OG one. We got Goldberg.
Never give him a mic.
Okay.
That is easy. That is easy.
All right, we got the Chael Sonnen. Is that correct? Yeah, Chael Sonnen.
Chael.
All right. So Chael doesn't do commentary. Well, with the UFC, but so
If he were to, I guess.
if he were to, I'm gonna say,
What do we think? Uncle Chael, what do you think?
I love working with Chael at the desk. At the desk.
At the
'Cause
desk,
he's so good at the desk. But I don't think that's like his strongest thing. I think his strongest thing, or like in terms of commentary, I don't think that's where I'm gonna say solid.
Perfect.
But that's not his strongest suit. Like his strongest suit is in front of a camera, one-on-one, and give and
Entertainment.
takes. Yeah.
Entertainment.
And he's the best at that. But in terms of commentary, I don't think that he fits in.
I like this one. I'm curious where you put him. Dominic Cruz.
I'm also going to say solid. And I think
Very prepared.
Yeah.
yeah, he's very prepared always. He's very prepared. He knows exactly what he's doing. I think he just struggles with because he's still fighting.
He's mixed in. He's in the mix.
He's still a little too in the mix, and he has to kind of navigate, like especially when he's talking about other bantamweights in competition. He has to kind of navigate between giving them props and then like
He's critical.
Yeah,
It's tough.
It's
Like, I
tough
want
for him.
adrenaline like
So
that.
I think that if he was retired and solely focused on that, he could probably, and he was a little bit more cheerful. He'd probably. I said it the other day. I said, man, like because when he's got this little dog, and when the dog's around, he's such a different human being.
Yeah.
When the dog's not around, he's like he's like Squidward. He's like-
So do you feel like if he were to retire from fighting?
yeah, I think if he would have
he'd lighten
retired from
up a
fighting,
little
he'd
bit?
be in the best category.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think that he's just solid now because he's still fighting, and he's kind of
Got to balance that
limbo,
out.
yeah.
I remember that weird interaction with Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee, because like Kevin Lee was like on the desk, and then Kevin Lee was being interviewed by Tony Ferguson on the desk. It was just so weird because they were like,
He's like, I might fight you.
"I might fight you."
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah. It's always a bit weird.
All right, this one, DC, the man who pays people to write his notes. Where do you put him?
Oh, see, this is
As
gonna
Michael
be so
Bisping
tough.
called him out, and or not Michael Bisping, Dominic Cruz called him out.
Oh, so this is tough.
And feel free to have me move people around if you feel
Okay, for sure. Oh, wow.
I love this insight. This is fantastic.
It's so hard to find because I can't really find a bad one.
Yeah, no, that's the hard thing about this one.
No one is really bad.
They could be all in the same row.
I'm going to say DC is great.
Okay.
I think he's a really good commentator because he brings a level of energy that is really good for the audience and fans, and he's pretty knowledgeable. And I think he's knowledgeable not because, well, this is going to sound bad.
Okay, but we'll put a disclaimer that says it's really good.
No, he's very knowledgeable because he listens to other people.
Great listener.
Right. Yeah.
That's good.
He'll listen to other people, and
I hear what you're saying.
yeah. So I mean, and I don't want to make it sound like he's like plagiarizing other people's ideas, but he's willing to accept what other people are saying and be like, okay, yeah. So now I'm going to use that. So like, he's really good at that.
Nice.
So I think DC is great.
Love it. And then where do you think you go? Dean Thomas.
Never give me a mic.
Okay, let's put this man out there.
Never give me a.
Would you do if they needed a backup? Would you ever take? Would you jump in that? See if they're like, hey, people are sick.
I would jump in if I needed to, but I always tell people this. You know, I do Sirius XM, and I say, I'm just a punch-drunk idiot with a mic.
Hey, you sound like
Don't ever get that confused with anything else. So don't give me a mic.
All right, we got the one and only Joe Rogan. Is he S tier for you for keeping it going? Is he great?
I'm going to say solid.
Solid.
He's solid because, you know, and I know a lot of people would think that he's the best, but I can't go that high because, you know, I think Joe is out of the game a bit. He's out of the loop a little bit.
Yeah.
But like you can't have UFC without Joe Rogan.
No.
Oh, he made that whole
Doesn't
thing
seem
work.
right.
Yeah, it does. It won't be the same. Like the commentary, like, a pay-per-view won't be the same without Joe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It does feel weird sometimes when he's not there.
It does. Like
feel
you
weird.
you need Joe. So, but in terms like if it wasn't Joe and it was just like some other dude saying the same things that Joe's saying, I'd be like, oh, he's solid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Joe brings a aura and an energy about him that you just need. So that's
It makes the brand. Almost,
no doubt
as a
about that.
Viewer. Laura Sanko. I think she's been crushing.
She's really good.
She's at the top.
Hey! I had a feeling because she knows so much.
She
came on the scene hot.
She might be the most analytical sometimes.
No, there is no doubt in my mind. So at the top right now in terms of preparation and just what they do, they are so much better than everybody else because I feel like they understand that they have to be. They don't have the credentials. They wasn't a 2-time champion. They never fought. So they have to bridge that gap with what they can do now. And I feel like Laura has just really leaned into that. And I love the fact that she has, because she don't have to. Like, you know, I've been to her crib, man. She don't got to do nothing.
Oh, I've seen stories of giant ass farms.
Yeah, she don't really have to do anything.
That's
and
right.
she spends a lot of time really dedicating her life to the sport.
All right, we got Dan Hardy from back in the day.
You know, Dan Hardy would have been at the top.
For real.
Dan Hardy is, I remember hearing him when he first came out. I was like, yo, this guy, I thought he was an idiot. And I was like, yo, he is amazing.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, Dan Hardy is really good. But for now, I'm going to leave him at great.
Perfect.
Only because like, you know, just the stories of how like Hardy might have been to get along with.
Yeah.
I think he had the potential to be the best commentator.
And then we got your boy Paul Felder.
Solid.
Let's go. And then you can't do the shows without these two guys. Fitzy. You can't do it without them. But you're gonna put Fitzy. You're smiling like your eyes are glossed.
No. Fitzy's great. Put him at great.
Great, I love it. And then finally, we got a Brit.
He's great. You know, he's great.
Well, there you guys have it.
That's my list.
That's a great list.
I gave Dean 3 chances to put people at best commentary, the S tier, and
I only put 2. I only put 2. I was very hard on everybody.
You're a straight shooter.
Yeah,
I love
I was hard on everybody.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
I couldn't, you know, if I had to put a third up there, it would have probably been Dan Hardy.
Yeah.
But
you know what?
He's at the PFL now.
yeah.
Fuck it. This is mine right here. I'm putting this guy up here.
That's actually
because the least prepared is the most prepared.
That's exactly why I left that slot. So that y'all can do it.
Hey Nick, who should we put at the top? What do you think?
I think
No.
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
honestly, I just want to get paid, to do nothing. And fighting is like doing nothing for me. So I live my life. That's it.
All right, so we're coming to the end of the show. We really do appreciate you being here, sir. I want to know predictions, early year predictions at the end of the year. Who do you think is the lightweight champion?
Islam is still the lightweight champion this time next year.
Perfect. Who do you think the welterweight champion is at the end of the year? I want to see if your predictions are Mystic Mac-like.
Hot take.
Woo!
Sean Brady.
Woo!
Hey, I like that one.
That's a good
I like that one.
Can't argue
got
with that.
Middleweight. Right now, we got DDP. Is he still there at the end?
DDP and Sean Strickland next.
DDP, Sean Strickland. Who's the number 3 guy?
I'll pull up the rankings.
Yeah.
Hamzat.
Oh, Hamzat. We forgot.
And who's under Hamzat? Rob Whitaker.
Bobby Knuckles. And
Izzy's number
Imavov.
2. Imavov number 5.
Or do you think a fighting nerd makes it at the end?
I'm going Kyle Bahayo.
Oh, love that.
I think Kyle Bahayo.
He's good.
He's gonna get the win that he needs in order to get a title shot, and I think that's all he needs, man. I like him a lot.
Kyle
man.
Bahayo,
I like him a lot.
All right, light heavyweight.
I mean, it seems kind of unrealistic, but I mean, I'm just looking at the other guys. I'm like,
But Ankalaev is right there. But Ankalaev, your favorite.
he's gonna be in the PFL before
the year's over.
He's in a tournament fighting. He's like, why am I here? Dean traded you. Okay, this is a great one. Heavyweight by the end of the year.
Tom Aspinall, undisputed, all around heavyweight. I come with a disclaimer with that. I just don't think John fights him, and not that he's afraid of him. I just think that it just doesn't work out, and John's just like, nah, I'll just give the belt up then. I think he's going to give the belt up, and then Tom's just going to be the undisputed.
I feel that too.
Yeah,
I feel that too. And then featherweight, we have Ilya right now, but he's already talking about like, I'm good at this weight class. I'm ready to go up.
which is insane.
Insane.
It's insane to think that he'd give up pay-per-view points to move up. If that is the case, then
Or do you think Ilya's just talking shit? He's actually there till the end.
if he's there to the end, he's going to be the champ. But outside of that, I think
on,
Movsar. I'm going to say Movsar.
Really?
Mosvar.
All right.
If Ilya gives it up.
How do you feel about Diego Lopez?
Oh, I like Diego. I like him a lot. I just don't know if he can beat Movsar.
Okay.
I think that even though he took that fight on short notice, it's still kind of indicative of how a fight would be, even if he might have been a little bit more prepared.
And we got bantamweight. You
Bantamweight.
think it's changing already? Tomorrow? You think it's changing this weekend?
Oh my God,
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
It is a tough one. I think Merab. Here's what I think. I think Merab wins tomorrow.
I kind of get the same.
I feel that
Yeah,
too.
I think Merab wins
we're
tomorrow.
overlooking him.
Yeah,
oddly.
for real.
But then I just have this feeling that like
Corey
somewhere-
Sandhagen at the end of the year.
Like I just had, I just feel like there's something weird happens, and then he's not the champ by the end of the year. Like,
He punches a fan or something.
yeah,
or jumps in a lake. Hurts
like
himself.
Corey Sandhagen and Peter Yan or something like that will end up being champ by the end of the year. So I think
Peter Yan.
Yeah, I think Merab wins tomorrow, but I think at the end of the year he's not champ.
Yeah, my prediction is Corey at the end of the year.
Corey
It's going to blow everyone's
Sandhagen.
mind. It's going to be Corey. All right, we got one more. Flyweight. Give me flyweight. Pantoja, or we seeing a new person?
I think that what's his name? I can't. He's up there somewhere?
Who? Moreno, Albazi, Kai
Royval?
France,
No.
Tyra, the Japanese kid?
No. What's his name? The black dude. The little,
Manel?
Yeah, Manel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he
I
would
don't
be.
see him up there.
He's
He's
like,
6.
Oh, he's 6.
He would
Okay.
be the perfect champion for
Yeah,
that
honestly.
division.
I think Manel Cop. I think Manel Cop could be champ by the years.
Yeah.
He's probably the most like well-rounded guy.
There's no his speed, his
Entertainment?
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
He's just unfocused in fights.
Yeah, Eric was like, he's just a wild man.
Yeah,
Nick
he's
Sick was like, we just got to contain that.
Yeah, but I like Manel Cop at that division.
I love that too. Dean, anything you want to promote? Do you have a couple shows, right? You have
Sirius XM
Yep.
on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I do Tuesdays with Alan Joban. Wednesdays
tight.
with Anthony Smith.
nice.
Oh, nice.
So Sirius XM, and then
you have a show
all
with
the
Senko?
UFC
Do you have a show with Senko?
I do her like her pay-per-view pre-show.
Yeah.
Yeah, on her channel, one-on-one.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so me and Laura Sanko do the show, and then just the movie Grace Point coming out. We got the premiere January 30th, but it'll be on all the streaming services January 28th. Grace Point, make sure y'all check that out.
Are you going to make us cry in that film?
I am.
Oh my God, my heart.
I mean, it's just,
the way he sat and looked at me.
I'm going to make you cry. Yeah, it's going to be very sad. Actually, that might not make you cry, but the film that I did with Eve is called Brotherhood. It's a short film.
Look up Brotherhood,
Yeah,
everyone.
it's called Brotherhood. And I've had people cry in that one.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, people have.
We should
do it
watch
all.
it. We should watch together. React.
Yeah.
We'll watch it.
So
We'll
it's,
watch it together.
so it,
He
it's
lies.
not.
It's a full-on comedy. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, zip.
It's
zap.
no, no, it's not out yet.
Yeah.
But because it was still making its rounds through the film festival circuit. But once it's out and we put it on some streaming platforms and you get to check it out, I want you guys to watch it and let me know how it is. But you guys are coming to the premiere with me.
I'm going to come watch it. We'll bring David. We'll bring a bunch of people
for sure.
Guys, give it up for the one and only Dean Thomas.
Come on. Pioneer. Legend.
Whoa. Dean Thomas, thank you so much. You're now David.
Wow, dude, it was so great meeting Dean Thomas. It was great. We're best friend.
How was it like being in the Black experience?
Dude, I said the N-word so much.
Oh, that's why Dean was saying that the entire time.
You get to be black for a day. All right. All the time.
You hit your quota, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
So guys, yeah, we just had this great episode with Dean, but we wanted to come back and we wanted to give you guys some fight recaps and some previews for UFC Saudi Arabia. There were so many fights this weekend.
So many good ones.
A lot. When the UFC doesn't have anything, everyone else decides to put shit
Man,
on.
I stayed awake for the whole thing. It was great. I love it so much.
1/170. We did a live stream. It was a lot of fun. David slept in.
I had a half
Hit a
hour
baby.
sleep, and I was like, I can still do this. And you know when you're so fucking exhausted, it feels like the force of gravity is 18 times more. I couldn't move my neck and
Bro,
my
it was
face.
hard. It was hard.
I kept doing this, like
It's the eyes thing to your eyelids just start to just stay closed.
it was so fucking hard. And when I finally forced myself up, I just gave a shit. Sorry guys, I'm sleepy.
Bart hopped on and he said he was watching it.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like cracking jokes. And he said that when he heard me talk, it sounded like I wasn't trying to wake up the whole house. I was like whispering. I was like, whoa, what a crazy.
I was like, oh, is your wife in the next room?
You know where I was going to stream it from?
Where?
The garage in my car.
God, we suck.
We
suck.
Because you don't have a designated
Because there's a
streaming-
baby.
Yeah.
Said I would
Can't wake up,
scream.
And low key though, it was probably good you didn't do it.
The fights
you
were
would've-
crazy.
You would have woken up
The
baby.
whole dude. It
You
was.
would have woken up the baby.
I had to watch it later.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy.
It was a great fight card. It was awesome. That was my first one we watched from beginning to end, and
Insane.
the fights move so quick. There's no lag time, which is
I like
really
it.
It was back to back to back.
Coliseum style.
As soon as the fighters are getting carried out, they're walking out on the next one. It was crazy.
There's so many knockouts.
Oh my god!
What the fuck, man?
Well, dude, you do Muay Thai with MMA gloves.
Game over.
Honestly, it blows my mind that there's guys out there that want to do Muay Thai with MMA gloves. You guys are a bunch of savages. You're all crazy people, and you guys put on some crazy fights.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit.
I mean, let's talk about this one. This one wasn't the main event, but it was, or co-main event, but it was Nabil versus Nico Carrillo. I think
A lot of hype.
David definitely had Nico. He's been looking so fucking good. Or
Me, I didn't have Nico.
You
I had
didn't.
Nabil.
You had Nabil.
I had Nabil going in, and then Gil made
Really?
he reverse psychology.
I had
tricked him.
I had Nabil going in
You incepted
because I've talked about this before. I'm not a big fan of fighters who sit there and bang and take shots because eventually you're going to find the person who's a little bigger than you, might be just a little more skilled, and they're going to crack you. Nico's biggest thing in his fights is that he was always the bigger fighter, right? Yeah. He would eat shots. And by the way, he would not move his head a lot. Yeah. He'd get cracked, but these guys wouldn't be able to take him down. He would take elbows to the faces over and over and over.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Chin up, too.
Chin up. And well, guess what? Now you're fighting a bigger fighter who has crazier range and uses his 1-2 really well.
Oh my God,
let's see what happens. Like that all day.
Yeah, you had a good point. You were saying he was also fighting a lot of older fighters too,
Yeah.
right? Or he just bully them, but
He would just weight bully and size bully him, but he doesn't have that advantage here.
He was just really durable.
Yes.
And he could take these shots. But once Nabil landed that straight cross down the pipe, you're like, oh.
bro.
Because you'll see, like, when I was watching this fight, it's like, once Nabil was like, oh, my straights are going, he was like, I don't need nothing else.
Yeah. Because he found his jab early.
Yes.
And he was touching with the jab, so he was like, oh, he's right there. Right there. And then he threw a left hook right cross.
Mm-hmm. Bink, bink.
And I was surprised how fast this fight ended. I thought it was going to be a longer fight.
Same.
And like we were talking about with these MMA gloves, like you're seeing Nico, he shells up, right? It doesn't work with the Muay Thai stuff because it always sneaks between your guard.
Yeah.
And when Nabil is throwing straights, that's probably not the move you should do. Liam Harris talked about it too on his first one fight. He was like, fuck, I didn't realize that I can't use long guard, because when you're long guarding, you're using your extension, you're covering your face, but that small glove can't cover your whole face. No. And so he was also talking about the show, it will sneak through. So these are like the hard part about doing Muay Thai with small gloves that Liam Harris broke down. It's like, oh, it's true. I didn't really think about that.
When guys stand this close to each other with MMA gloves, it just makes me so nervous.
His head kick
is
is
the best strikers in the world, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, what would have been the paths to victory if you were the coach and you were like,
Probably double leg takedowns.
Yep, there you go.
Rear
hey,
naked
get
choke.
the foul, get the
Take
foul.
it back. Yeah.
Take the foul.
I don't know. I think
like-
for guys like...
Because he can't clinch. Nico can't clinch. He's still going to get a knee.
I think you got to work the body as best you can,
yeah.
but easier said than done. Like, because, you know, like, look how long his torso is.
I mean...
Straight to the body, but I don't know. Like, just do what Super Leg did.
I mean, what else?
He's the only guy that beat him.
Yeah,
just do
just
what
beat
he
him.
did. But even then, Super Leg, he's the champ for a reason. So they're going to do Super Leg and Nabil next. That's going to be awesome. And I think it was early in Nabil's ONE FC career.
Yeah, and Nabil has put on a lot more mass and muscle.
Way more experience. He has like 6 fights, 6 to 8 fights, all straight W's. So yeah, Nabil's a problem, bro. He's a problem. Maybe we could see him go up to featherweight.
Oh, dude. I mean, he's going to have to. He can't be at that weight class forever. He's doing that because he's young. But give him like another couple years, he's not going to be able to make that.
Yeah, he's going to fill out.
Yeah,
All right.
don't
Then we
say
have
that.
the
Don't say that
Taiwan.
about him.
Hey, he's
going to fill out.
He's going to get filled up by
Ew.
Nick Dunn.
No way, dude.
Look at these two guys, dude.
Tawan Chai, Super Bond rematch. Thought I was going to go decision. Was not expecting Tawan Chai to fucking starch him.
That's what we were saying too, right? We were like, oh, this is probably going to be the longest fight of the night. And then 5 minutes was the fight. That's how long it took. And it was just that straight cross. And it just seemed like, when we were talking about this off camera, I think it's just the age gap a little bit. Because I think for prime kickboxing age is like mid to late 20s. And as soon as you get to your early 30s, mid 30s, I think it's a little bit harder because he's like, think about all the fights Superbon has had.
Yeah.
And how long he's been at the top, you know? Like,
And it's Thailand. This is probably his 4,868th fight.
Bro, we were talking about that. It's crazy when you see the UFC and someone's fighting for the title. They're like 14-2 fighting for the title.
Yeah.
Here it's like not even close to contender. 800 fights, 20 losses.
and you saw that exchange that dropped Superbon. He landed a straight cross on Tawan Chai, ate it, and just countered right over the top and just dropped him. Like, just the durability of these young fighters.
Boom.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, dude. Tawan Chai is a sniper, bro.
It seemed like Tawan Chai did a lot of homework on like Superbon's kicks, right? Because it seemed like he kept reading his kicks really well. So I wonder what the coaching game plan was after they're meeting up again. It's like, what was the tell that they saw from Superbon that made him like anticipate his strikes? Because he caught his rhythm super fast.
Yeah. And I think the last fight they had, I think it was 5 rounds. Let me see right here.
It was 5 rounds.
It was 5 rounds.
Yeah, it was 5 rounds. So I think he kind of has like, okay, I think I know how to deal with this guy. And it fucking showed. And to think like this dude, 2 years ago, just knocked out Giorgio Petrosian.
For real.
God. Crazy KO, right?
Crazy KO.
And he's arguably one of the most technical guys in the kickboxing game. And for him to do that is,
But this is like that changing of the guard, right? Yeah. It's like it's them. It's almost like they're fighting them, but a younger version of them.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
Oh, this was the end of so remember this guy?
Trujillo.
Yeah, but remember the chin?
Clean meat, yeah.
There's a
the
theory
chat was
going
off about how Trujillo, guys who have sloped chins or inverted chins, they get knocked out. And as soon as Clean Me touched him, it was just like bink. He went out,
dude.
Oh my!
What a wild fight, dude! I didn't actually see this one.
All these fights were crazy. It was his first round stoppage, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was like, clean me, 710. It's like, what? How much these guys fight?
He's had like 300 fights.
That's insane. That's fucking crazy.
Look at that elbow, bro.
Oh my God.
The fact that some guys can eat an elbow and just be fine blows my mind. And this guy, Bompara,
Kuyate, the model that Nick was getting all bricked up by. You were getting so bricked up.
I was getting bricked up by his fighting technique, not his male modeling.
I mean,
this guy pulled up a picture of him in short shorts, and he's like, and he brought up to Bompara, and it was like, "What do you think of this?" He's like, "Yeah, I model."
I was like, "Oh, does it help you?"
Uggos wouldn't even know.
He's like, "You trying to fuck me or what? What is this? An invitation? American gay boy?"
But he was a cool customer.
He was cool. Yeah,
he was super nice.
Almost called him Cyril Gahn. Not gonna lie.
That's crazy.
Like if you guys
That's
don't
absolute madness.
if you guys don't watch like like Muay Thai or kickboxing, Joe Nottawa is a big deal.
Oh my God,
huge dude.
Smoking Joe. Come on.
He's
a legend.
Big fucking deal. And the way he dismantled him was kind of shocking to me. I was like, what the? How good is this guy?
It just seemed like the night, the theme was the young guns against the old guard. And all the young guns won. Because I think more than MMA, kickboxing is a real young man's game.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's just like the reaction time has to be so
The speed, they were actually substantially faster.
Yeah. But the fights that we really enjoyed were the Stupinan brothers.
Oh, yes.
Those two.
Those
The
guys.
stand-up Rutolos, dude.
Seriously. The twins. There's something about twins in fighting sports.
Like Johan Ghazali, I mean, Battle of the Johans, but
Yep.
Ghazali is supposed to be the favorite. He's kind of like the star that
He also has 7,000 fights, and he's 12 years old.
And he's the next big star. And I think
The Stupinans, man.
the Freddie Haggerty, like
Oh yeah.
that dude is really good, and he made him look kind of normal except for the third round. And he came back. He was coming back in that third round, which is really fun to see in kickboxing fights where you see guys lose 2, and then that third round, kind of like the Eddie Abasolo fight. his latest fight. He lost the first 2, and he came back and almost finished him.
Yeah.
He dropped the ones, almost KO'd him, and you're like, oh my God, these fights are 6-minute fights are kind of the way to go.
Yeah. For real, huh?
I'm into
Yeah.
that, bro. I'm into that.
These young
Or
people,
9-minute fights.
These young fighters are so good, dude. Like it's crazy how much like kickboxing and Muay Thai has evolved in the sense of, if you go back to like these old Lumpini Stadium videos, which I only started watching, I would say a couple years ago, it's really just a game of attrition. They're standing there, traditional stance, and they're marching. Ha, marching. This one, there's so much movement. They're turning them, they're getting them away, they're using their range really well. It's so much more dynamic. It's not like you go first, I go first.
Yeah.
This is like, let's see what's up.
Yep.
And it's so different. I think that's kind of where like the old guard gets a little bit fucked up. They're not used to this like pace and rhythm.
Yeah, would you say this is then, like, would it be like Holland-style kickboxing, or are you saying it's even something different than
I
Muay
think
Thai?
It's different.
It's like a hybrid now. Like I think a lot of guys are
They
blending.
stand like Muay Thai, but it feels faster.
I feel like a couple years ago, a lot of people would say traditional Muay Thai fighters, like their boxing isn't as crisp.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing a lot of like Muay Thai guys have really great
good hands.
right? Because especially with the MMA gloves, because it's like they're such weapons where, like, with big gloves you may not be able to KO a guy.
Yeah.
But now it's like you just land one hard jab and it changes everything. Because we see in MMA all the time, guys win fights just off jabs.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this rule set, it really favors that with the MMA gloves.
Oi!
Freddie Haggerty is a beast, bro.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Really good camp. And he put it on him. I think this was Jordan Stupinan's like first fight in ONE FC.
Yeah,
Oh,
his first-
really?
His first.
Yeah.
His first.
They gave him fucking Haggerty? That's crazy.
yeah, and
That's fucking crazy.
Bro, they thought
fucking
you were the
showed
Sharks.
up.
But he
Look at
he
this.
put on, man. He put on. I don't even know who was the favorite in this.
It had to be Haggerty, right?
Maybe
no
because
idea.
he's
Yeah, probably.
If it's, yeah.
The name.
He's the more
But look at this.
more experienced guy in there.
This kid just went for it, like he was fighting for a meal.
Look at their hand. They use so much hands now.
I mean, Taekwondo too.
And he's so dynamic with his range and his kicks. Like the Stupinan brothers, they're nonstop.
Yeah.
Ton of volume. A lot of, you don't even know where they're coming from. The body
Look at
shots.
that. Yeah.
Oi, from Freddie Haggerty.
Did you say it was Colombia, the one with the tariffs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
There you
They're
go.
fighting for tariffs, baby.
Yeah.
They're fighting for that 50% tariff.
We don't want our immigrants. Wow. Take them back.
Also, another crazy event, which I had to rewatch, was the BKFC KnuckleMania 5.
So just talking about this is crazy. Like some people just need to find their sport.
Yeah.
Right. And you're finding. Okay. I mean, we will talk about it too. But Ben Rothwell, for crying out loud,
Yeah.
dude, fucking 4-0.
Bro,
in
the way he
BKFC.
slept them too. There was usually on BKFC fights, I feel like I don't see as much knockouts, but for whatever reason, this fight card,
Everything was a knockout,
Yeah.
right?
dude, guys were getting slept, like face planting. So, yeah, another sport that's absolutely brutal that I can't believe people do.
It's just like when you don't have any form of wraps, every shot counts so much.
We and
Just
you guys
say
see-
no form of wraps.
No form of wraps.
no form.
Take
of
that, Tate.
Yeah, dude.
Just say it now, dog.
Yeah.
You're not here.
Hey, people are on my side, all right? Because I didn't say knuckle wraps.
You
I
did
just
it.
said
You
wraps.
said wraps.
Yeah.
There were modified wraps.
Yeah.
To thumb guards.
All right.
Because they do have to protect the thumb, though, right? Like
Something.
if your thumb hits someone's forehead, you're like,
Yeah,
oh, that's
it's wrapped
broke.
around the thumbs.
That shit's broken for sure.
Ben Rothwell, dude. I used to love watching him fight because it's like there's certain forms of stances, right? You have a wide stance, you have a narrow stance, and then you have Ben Rothwell, where it's just square.
The Ben Rothwell.
Ben Rothwell.
It's just the Ben Rothwell.
He's like in a straddle
There you go.
position, and he just walks forward and just starts doing this in MMA.
I low-key think it's the shorts, bro.
All right, guys, break it down for me. Break down the Ben Rothwell stance.
Well, look,
He looks scared, too.
so his stance changed here, but in MMA, he was square.
Yeah.
He is squared.
It was so odd. But he would knock people out with his hands. He had good hands.
Question for
Is this
you
a
guys.
version of the Philly shell, kind of, when you just...
I don't know what that is, dude. That's Ben Rothwell style.
Yeah.
He got a little tanner,
A little bit.
little maybe juicier. I wonder what the drug testing is like in ONE FC. Because I feel like
Or
when
you
guys,
mean a BKFC?
oh sorry, BKFC. When guys get like tanner and they get a little buffer, I just automatically assume that
Just little steroids.
they're on steroids.
When
Well,
they
he
get
had to
veneers?
drop like 37 pounds in one day, Ben Rothwell.
No way.
What?
Yeah, because I
He
think
cut weight to make this?
which is hilarious, right?
What?
Yeah, and he was saying that it was hard. He's like, I'm not making excuses, but got 2 kids in the house. I got to do other work, and so it was the hardest cut ever. I cut from 500 to 470 or something. I don't know.
475-pound cut.
Yeah, he had to drop like 30 something
shit.
pounds in like a day, which is pretty nuts.
All right, then we had the main event. We had Jeremy Stevens and Eddie Alvarez. Seems like he's been fighting for 84 years.
For real.
He's like a
Every
TIE fighter.
promotion. Literally in every promotion across the board.
UFC 1, Bellator.
He looks like
this.
in the movie with
Dream.
like an apocalyptic movie, the asshole.
Yeah.
like that's what Jeremy Stevens looks like. You know what I mean?
With the mohawk.
He just loves murdering people
Yeah,
for no
yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Like Escape from LA type
He's
thing.
like he's like one of the villains from Last of Us, a TV show.
Throw an eye patch on him. But he called out Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was like, I'm going to fight you.
Yo,
I'm going to fight you.
Is Connor okay? Like he's not okay,
No, I
right?
don't
did
think
you
so.
guys see their face off with Connor?
So weird.
Connor looks like he forgot that he's not fighting. So he's like staring both of them down. It's like
You're the president, bro. Imagine Dana White was doing that to fucking to Ngannou or
he
something.
was like trying to punk both of them. I'm like, bro, you're the promoter, man.
Oh, bro, the way he dropped him with that cross.
Didn't Eddie's jaw shatter?
Yeah, he
in
broke
the
his
first round.
Oh my God.
That's why. So when it came to round 3, he was like, I can't do this anymore.
Bro, this dude has probably had every injury known to man.
Yep.
How old is he? Is he in his 40s?
No,
Probably.
he's like 37, I think. 38.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That's crazy. He's still fighting.
It is wild, though. Oh, every time now, knowing that the first round he broke his jaw, every time that.
Yeah.
Wee.
So it was already broken. So when he was getting dropped here, it was just so painful for him.
Look at him. He's like,
Yeah,
dude.
bro.
And
Look
you
at
can
his
already tell.
jaw.
Look at the size of his face. It's already broken.
Oh, he spit his mouthpiece out. Dude, imagine having your jaw broken and you get punched in the face by Jeremy Stevens, one of the
Yep.
hardest hitters ever. He's a tough motherfucker, man. And apparently he's like a business mogul, too. He's got like
I believe it.
a ton of businesses. Apparently all the fighters, they talk to him about like how to develop your brand. Like I was listening to Eddie Alvarez talk with Mighty Mouse and the stuff that he's trying to do. He's trying to build his own camp, his own gym, and then have the management on like the other wing of the gym, so it's all combined.
Oh,
So
like
he's gonna
360
be-
like a UT or CAA.
Yeah,
with
pretty much. So
fighters.
you have your training and your management all under one roof.
That's great.
And you get a guy who's been in the game for so long, who's been through pretty much every form of competition, and he's done it all. But Conor McGregor,
What's going on here?
he's wilding out a little bit. I saw him at a
He doesn't
NBA
look
game.
right. Like it's like he's back on coke again.
Oh, he's for sure on coke, dude.
There was no back on coke. That was
I'll take
always
the
on
break.
coke.
Dosage
Yeah.
a little bit.
He's always on coke. He just looks like a Paul brother,
Like
which is so
third Paul,
Conor
their
McGregor.
European cousins.
He
yo.
officially has the same size head as them, dude.
Yeah, seriously, yo. All these dudes got big old domes, man.
It's like he's always sizing up people, and it's just so out of context. It's like, bro, just chill.
Speaking
out.
of sizing people up, I saw this clip. He's at a basketball game. I forgot. I think the
God,
Nets
who do
or
you
something.
size up? LeBron James?
Brooke Lopez.
Really?
Brooke Lopez.
Why?
Bro, he's sitting on the bench.
Not even a.
Conor McGregor is walking by him, and while Brooke Lopez is sitting down, Conor McGregor is standing. They're the same height. And apparently Conor was like, how tall are you? He stands up. He's like 7'1", and he's like sizing him up.
That's so fucking
Against
funny.
Brooke Lopez. You're
The
like,
Lopez brothers.
Yeah,
One of
dude.
them. I heard Jake Paul and Logan Paul gonna box next.
that'd be fucking hilarious.
They're boxing each other.
I saw that for HBO Max, but there was something revealed today on Ariel Helwani. They did say it might be a reality show,
Okay, never
like a
mind.
tough or something.
but they could, amateur boxing it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's supposed to be a reality show, so they're kind of trying to, trick people.
They're just making money, dude, off of as much as
Look,
possible.
this is it right here.
Stand up. Stand up.
Let me see you.
Yeah.
Look, he's so weird.
He's coked out.
Who does that in the middle of the game? Are you allowed to do that? I guess if you're Conor
If it's
McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
I want to see it. Stand up.
He's
I
like,
fuck these guys.
off.
Fuck off.
Dude, he's so weird now. Fuck.
Okay, another one. Speaking of Irish people, did you guys watch
Paul Hughes?
Yes.
Usman.
I didn't see the whole fight. You guys tell me who won for real.
I think
Marab
Usman
again?
edged it out.
Usman had to have. Listen, I don't know if people think I'm crazy because it's like going back and forth. I watched that fight. It was pretty decisively Usman. He had 4 takedowns.
Yeah.
And they had hard exchanges with
And it
each
was
other.
close. Like,
Yeah.
like it wasn't like he got blown out or anything. It was a close fight, but I think you would edge it to edge it to Usman.
Paul Hughes, though?
He's good.
He's so fucking good.
He's the face of Irish.
He needs to get
MMA.
out of here and go to the UFC quick.
Both these guys do, and I think Islam was kind of teasing it, like he might go up to 170, and then Usman's gonna come to the UFC. Like
Yeah,
that's
fuck
the
you,
way
Bilal.
We just forgot about Bilal.
Yeah, fuck you, Bilal.
probably take a super fight at 170 or something.
This guy Hughes' hands are really good.
He's just very well rounded.
Yeah.
Like really good grappling. Like for you to beat AJ McKee the way he did,
Yep.
that's a big deal, man. AJ McKee's a freaking killer.
Look at that shit.
But look at that, the back
Yeah.
take.
And I think they collided heads at one point, and
Yeah.
then people were saying like that's when the tide started to turn towards Usman. But
Look at those body shots, dude. I'm telling you, his hands are fucking nuts.
But now we're starting to see the Nurmagomedovs. They're getting pushed. They're getting tested.
People are set the level high, and people are
people
climbing
are
up.
people are climbing up for sure, man. So we're gonna see the Nurmagomedov crown may not be
Habib
around much
eating, huh?
longer. He a thick boy, dude.
Eating.
But the thing is, too, like I mentioned it before, man, and I'm not going to back down on this, is that every time somebody sees somebody who's supposed to be invincible, they see them lose a little bit here and there, and they go, oh, it's a robbery.
Washed.
Yeah, it's just because like the person you idolized or that everybody said was the boogeyman showed a little bit of not even weakness. The other person was good. It doesn't mean that they lost just because they didn't perform to what you thought they would.
Yeah, because we are so used to seeing the Team Khabib just wipe through everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, as soon as there's a back and forth fight, which most fights are when you fight at that level, like when you find someone that
Dude, man, saying that we thought like Umar like won.
Oh yeah, you guys should. People flipped
Edged it out. It's like we just said he edged it. Like we didn't say it was like a complete victory. We
Dude.
just thought, on these criteria.
You guys got called Nurmagomedov Glazers.
Yeah.
What do you feel about
crazy.
that?
This is
You
true.
And
Glazers.
at the beginning, and it's funny. At the beginning of the episode, we were like, "Yeah." After we watched it, we thought Marab won.
Yeah.
But in the moment, we thought Umar won.
Exactly.
People need to chill out.
And you sent us a clip of Chael Sonnen saying the same thing.
Chael had the same exact.
But then
argument
again,
as
you
guys.
never know if Chael's he saw our play and he's like, "Oh, I can."
he's
I like these guys. I like these guys.
These guys are retarded,
me-
and I like them.
Comments are through the roof.
Engagement. You guys created so much engagement.
Yeah.
Our video got downvoted so much, but so many comments.
Yeah, that's great. How many downvotes did we get?
I don't know. We went down to like 89%.
Yeah, you guys weren't even there, you poor people. Just kidding.
Hey,
Is that good
make
for-
some money.
Is that good for the algorithm if we get downvoted a lot?
By the way, I made that poor joke. I didn't buy the tickets
We got it for free.
because I
And
wouldn't fucking afford that.
He
shit.
had to beg for a +1. For
Yeah, I had to fucking beg on my knees, dude. So yeah,
Really quick, check this out. I haven't seen this before where someone's forearm just breaks from a front kick. Usually a shin, but not a forearm.
yeah. He didn't swipe it in time, and it was just full shin to. I mean, what's gonna win, the hardened shin or this fucking part of your forearm, the weak part?
Yeah. You know what? I'm surprised we don't see it
Right
more
here.
often. Ooh.
Like, oh no.
He was trying to do a down block like this. Correct.
That's why karate doesn't work.
Yeah,
You got to train your forearms.
it was just very unfortunate. But you know, like when you,
Oh, that's gross.
It's bad.
See it bend.
it's bad, dude.
That's fucking disgusting, dude. I can't believe we watch these. I can't believe we watch fights sometimes.
By the way,
Has your penis done that before?
Barely.
Okay.
all the time.
It's not long enough to bend 90 degrees.
Because jacking off when you're high, fucking impossible, guys.
It's a forearm.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Anyways, this wraps up this.
Brought to you by Underdog
Dog Fantasy.
It's like I'm warning, but it just won't react properly. Come on, dude.
All right, let's touch on this really quick. The GFL had their draft, which I was like, this is so dumb.
I love
Turned on the stream. This is pretty cool. David, I don't know if you had time to take a look at it, but let's go look at some of these rosters.
Pretty fucking
Team
cool.
Dubai. Apparently, everyone's saying Team Dubai got the best.
Javier Mendez basically just scooped up every wrestler.
Oh, so Javier Mendez is running Team Dubai?
He is the coach, and then Cain Velasquez, I believe, is the manager.
Wow.
Yeah, they got, dude, you got Damir Ismagulov.
Say that name one more time.
Ismagulov.
You see every last name ends with a V. It's a good team.
I didn't even know Ismagulov's not even part of the UFC. He's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Dude, Todd Duffy, that's a good heavyweight.
What happened to Todd Duffy, man?
I
was
think
so hyped
injuries?
on him.
I think injuries kind of set him back.
But Luke Rockhold back in the mix too.
I like that.
You got Amari Akhmadov, Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov. That's Khabib's cousin.
If you keep talking, the furniture will start floating, dude.
All right, Dr. Strange.
If I said it more confidently, for sure, the furniture. I'm still stuttering a little bit.
The fucking liquid death.
That's pretty.
Oh shit!
Nick, you start doing.
Jesus Christ!
We got Luke Rockhold, Timur.
Aguilar.
Yeah, dude, this is a solid team, bro.
Let's go. Honey Marks.
Oh, yeah.
Honey Marks.
What Brazil?
All right, so that's Team Dubai. Team Los Angeles.
Dude, okay.
Shout out to our girl, Jessica Penne. Back in the mix.
Dude, Jessica Penne, let's go.
She didn't tell us anything about that.
This is what she didn't want to tell us.
Oh,
this
the
was probably
GFL.
what it was. She said she had something in the works.
Oh.
Remember? This is it.
Shout out to Jessica Penne, dude.
Frank Mir's fighting. Wasn't expecting that.
No response.
Grant Neal. I wonder.
It's not like we don't know who Frank Mir is, but I think Frank Mir has done enough.
Yeah.
He's done so much.
He has done enough.
And his other heavyweight counterpart
Yeah.
has done a lot for
Is
us.
Grant
Andre
Neal
Love.
Jeff Neal's brother? No racial?
That's what I was going to ask. And you beat me to it. And now I don't look racist.
Okay, cool. Because I'm wondering, because they kind of have similarities,
Yeah.
and they're black, and their last name is Neal. That's all I base it off of. So
Pretty close. We got Riot Hall in the mix.
let's go.
Oh, which makes me sad that he won't be fighting Darren Till now.
Yeah.
'Cause
For
he's
sure.
legit.
Bro, Lorenz Larkin, great pickup. He's probably one of the best pickups. Chad Mendez,
Uriah Faber.
Uriah Faber.
Favors in it.
He has to be 45 years old now.
Cynthia Calvillo is a good pickup.
The number LA had the number 1 or number 2 pick for the whole draft, and their first pick was Sage Northcutt, which I think was great.
Dude,
He's probably
their
the
lightweight,
youngest, right?
yeah.
He hasn't been fighting a little bit because I think he was also battling some injuries. And
dude, Ray Borg, man.
Ray Borg is a
He
good
stopped fighting so early.
Yeah.
I think he stopped fighting like around 32, 31.
was it? Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
I might be lying about that, but I think Ray Borg stopped fighting early. He just stopped out of nowhere.
How do you say McFarland's first name?
Seth?
Lima.
Where? What are we talking
Seth McFarland.
Elima Lay,
Elima Lay McFarland.
Brother.
She's also a legend in the game.
Sister I.
Rashad Evans.
Oh, here's a fun fact.
I heard
Today,
Rashad Evans got pulled.
So Rashad Evans got drafted onto this,
No consent.
and then what is it? Rampage goes. He tags like him in the photo. Goes like, Rashad's not doing this. He's supposed to be fighting me in April. Rashad responds back on X and says, "Bro, I didn't even know about this. I'm in this without my consent."
That's hilarious, dude. Dude, that was just like me when I didn't apply to Sacramento State University and they told me I was accepted.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I got a
someone submitted you.
I
To
got
wanted you in
in
there,
the
huh?
mail. It says you're in. I was like, to what?
What are the chances of David getting picked up randomly like that, or he just applied and forgot?
forgot. I think you forgot.
I didn't
you
smoke
forget
weed
a lot, dude.
So I'm pretty sure I didn't apply to Sac State. I eventually went there though.
Oh,
I got
shout
kicked
out.
out of Riverside. So
Woo woo.
Team London. This is Luke Barnett, I believe, is the coach or general manager. Actually,
Gegard Mousasi, great
dude,
pickup.
fucking Mike Grundy. He's a very interesting looking man.
Yeah.
was he UFC? I don't
He's
know.
a
Yes, he
wrestling
was
guy.
UFC.
Big old
100%
forehead.
UFC.
Big old head.
Dude,
in general.
Alex is doing light heavyweight.
Gustafson.
Dude, I
Iri
don't know
Latifi.
the stark fall off of Gustafsson. Like, what happened? Like, he just went from being one of the best to just getting knocked out.
Anthony Johnson is what happened.
Yeah, I think that changed.
Bro,
him, huh?
getting knocked out first round in your hometown, 30,000 people.
Yeah, that was a tough KO, bro. Carolina.
Hey, you guys
Not-
remember Norman Park,
Norman.
Norman Park's in the mix?
the Northern Ireland guy?
Oh, yeah.
Fought on Tough.
Norman Park. So a lot of names that we haven't seen in a while.
Oh, I feel bad for him.
Benson Henderson.
He has to
Oh,
go
wow.
all the way to London.
Damn. Yeah.
Dude.
He's got to move.
Gegard Mousasi is a fucking beast.
Yeah,
Now,
that's going to be a good one.
he's a lot older, so I don't know how, if there's a lot of wear and tear on him right now. But
Yeah.
Gegard is a monster, dude.
But relative, you said what team had the relative age of, like, average age?
Miami.
Of 37.
0.8. Yeah, we'll get to Miami. It's ridiculous. But Gegard,
Is that the oldest team, you think?
I think it is. Gegard, You know what? I wish he would have fought in the UFC now as a middleweight.
Yeah.
Just the combinations of.
I'm low-key down for an MMA Masters division.
Yes.
Because it's like, I think for really good fights, it's all about the matchups. And I think you guys get, teams that are in the same age pool. I think there'll be some competitive fights.
All right, prediction. Give this a couple years. Has a little bit of trouble. UFC buys it out. This is their Masters division.
Let's do it.
Throw Clay Guida in the mix.
Team Miami. Apparently, this is the oldest team.
Paige Van Zandt.
Paige Van Zandt, Hannah Goldie. Is she not in the UFC no more?
This is what I'm shocked about. There's some people in here. I'm like, aren't you still a part of the UFC?
Bro, Kat Zingano.
Wow.
Agapova. She just got released.
And she's still younger.
Yeah,
so that's a good pick.
Dude, they swooped them up so quick. Felipe Lins, Thiago Santos, Gleison Tebow,
Stevens,
Charles Rosa,
Tebow, dude.
Anthony Pettis. Wait, Jeremy Stevens could do both?
So as long as it doesn't affect
The dates, I guess.
Yeah, GFL is very open to.
Dude, Marlon Moraes. Can I just say something?
You like him, right?
If you get knocked out one more fucking time, dude,
Brother.
just quit the police academy as well. Just stay at home.
Is he a police officer?
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's a police officer now. So listen, I'm not saying this out of hate. I'm just saying he was such an exciting fighter in the UFC. He fucking kicked the shit out of Aljo's head. That was nuts.
Yeah.
And then he always looked good until he didn't.
Yeah.
He just kept getting tagged. He kept getting KO'd by like the who's who of the
Dude,
bantamweight
he almost knocked out Marab like a couple of times in that first
that's
round.
right. That's right.
That was his fight, which was so nuts. Marlon, you cannot. I think he got knocked out ever since then, like 4 or 5 times in a row. KO, not TKO, KO.
How do you think, based on the other bantamweights that you've seen in other teams, how do you think he's gonna fare?
Let's see.
Shit, I don't fucking know, man.
Josh
Like, that's so hard to say, just because like
Uriah.
you've kind of seen Marlon Moraes lose his heart in fighting, and that's a concern for me.
Yeah.
So whenever like the going gets tough, he kind of crumbles.
Bro, Team Sao Paulo, he's gonna be fighting against Henan Barao.
or Rafael Anuncio. One of those two guys.
Oh, a Sunsao no
Bro,
more, huh?
They got Patricky Pitbull, Douglas Lima,
Wow.
Mauricio Hua. They got Shogun in the mix. Julio Arce.
Fabricio.
They got some good guys, man.
Oh yeah, so coach is Cordero, and then the manager, I don't know why, is Wandy.
No way. I thought it was gonna be Ed Soros. Ed Soros?
Oh, they got Cowboy Oliveira too.
I thought he was in the U. Damn, what happened?
No, he retired. Because
Oh,
Cowboy
that's
retired at 38, I believe. Or, yeah, around there. 38, 39 years old.
And then Team New York. Nick, what were you saying about Team New York? Our girl B's on Team New York.
Chris Weidman, this motherfucker, dude.
So I think
I don't know why he's.
this is MMA fighting, right? No, this is not MMA. MMA fighting did they did grades, and they
That's
graded
great.
Team New York F.
Oh, look, right here.
Wow.
Yeah. Dylan Dennis, I heard, is on the team too. Is he on?
Oh my God, he's the welterweight.
Well, he's the one that brought it to an F.
Yeah, it was probably like sitting at a B plus.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to get him to fight Tony Ferguson. I saw that was the first matchup they're gonna try to do.
Well, listen, I mean, come on.
Because Dylan's ground game is legit.
Yeah.
Like he could submit anyone in his division probably. And he got Neiman Gracie. He got some Gracies on the team.
I mean, look.
Team New York is not, bro. Kai Kamaka.
Yeah, Devin Clark is not bad. Phil Hawes had a terrible run, but like, look, when he was good, he was good.
I think these fighters are gonna do well, bro. I think there's gonna be.
I think F is a little rough.
Yeah, I don't think it's F. That's a little rude.
Kevin Lee,
Hey, listen.
Lance Palmer.
I said this years ago. I was like, Kevin Lee, that's a future champ. And then he kept making me look like a dumbass.
He might make you right now though.
Hey,
He might become champion GFL.
he's still young. I think he's only like 32 years old.
And you get Sidney Outlaw. So you see a lot of guys that left PFL Bellator.
Yeah, Kai,
that he picked
right?
up over here. Yeah.
Isn't Kai Bellator?
And he was one of the first guys that was like, yo, I can't get any fights. I'm
Hey,
out of
B new win, dude.
B.
B's gonna be a fucking
There's
problem,
gonna be
bitches.
some good fights.
I
Oh,
wish
yeah.
he was strawweight though, because I was trying to get her to see if she was going to fight Paige.
Atom weight's good,
'Cause
though.
Paige is strawweight.
Well, hey, she might move up. Who knows? You get Lexi
Jimmy Rivera,
Olenek.
bro.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Rivera's a good pickup.
Holly Holm, a little older.
Yeah. Oh, this guy too. The
Oh,
one
Holly
that-
Holmes on the team.
Yeah,
Oh,
Holly Holm.
shit.
She retired and immediately went to this.
Wow.
This is the guy that taught Uriah Faber the jumping spinning back kick.
Sydney Outlaw. I don't remember.
I think Sidney Outlaw is a grappler, no?
This is such an interesting. I'm so curious as to see what's going to happen here, right? Because the matchups are going to be super important to make sure that these fights are really good.
For sure, for sure.
So whoever's doing the matchup, do not fuck up this bag, because you have the propensity to have amazing fights. Right?
Oh yeah.
So they have to make sure that every fight is a fucking banger. That's the only way. It's the only way it's going to gain traction.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even if they have to do it to the point where the people that we know are fucking amazing who have gotten older, they can shine, then people are going to love it.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for it.
I think it's gonna be fun. I think
then we're gonna see a fight, and we're gonna be like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, because I'm sure there's gonna be some fights where you're like, man, you could really see their age.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be a dick, but like you're gonna see.
I think some of the fights will be really entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's gonna be a ton of great matchups.
There's some youth there,
Dude, Frank Mir, he has not looking good in his last like few fights before his retirement.
If you fight in the UFC when it's like double digits,
yeah. It's a little bit of
you
a
make
problem.
me like I get nervous.
And
you know?
also, too, off camp, he has looked physically not that good, right? And you could tell, like, health-wise, it's not something his priority. There's this fucking video, this meme of Frank Mir. I think I laughed for about a week straight. Is because Frank Mir gained so much weight, his cheeks blew up.
Oh yeah,
And the meme said that this is what you look like when you had your headphones on for too long, because it was like here.
Because he does have that square head up top. Right?
He looks like a gourd. Which is nuts. A gourd. All due respect, Frank Mir.
He's talking about the vegetable, right? The vegetable.
Not disrespect.
No disrespect. I fucking
You
love
look like
Frank
a
Mir.
gourd.
Guys, let's get into some UFC Fight Night. Adesanya versus Imavov fight picks brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Use the code TheCasuals and play with your boys.
Come on.
All right. Israel Adesanya, Imavov. Tell me how it goes. Are we seeing a changing of the guard? David's theme has been kind of true for the past year right now.
Yeah.
So is it time?
I think Israel, it doesn't matter what I mentally think at all. I always go with my heart.
Yeah.
And so I'm always going to go Izzy, dude. Izzy is going to surprise us all. I think Izzy's going to get a TKO.
Because when he fought Dricus
He looked great.
in the stand-up exchanges,
Looked
he was
good.
winning. He was winning those stand-up exchanges. I feel like if Imavov uses his wrestling, he could cause some problems for Israel because this is another thing he has to defend, right? But if it's a pure stand-up match, like Izzy's no slouch on like his takedown defense is
amazing.
It's really good. So I feel like he could stop that. And if it's a pure striking matchup, I think I would favor Adesanya.
Adesanya.
And you can't go against him.
I think Israel does really well against people who have set rhythms.
Yeah.
Right? He finds your rhythm and he picks you apart. Dricus' thing was like, what is his rhythm?
And it's so awkward.
Exactly.
And I'm curious, and this is what it goes down to for me with, the Sean Strickland fight is like, we haven't seen him in a rematch. We haven't seen a guy who like fought him and then could feel it and make adjustments.
Yeah.
And I feel like Izzy, like if they were to have a second crack at it, he might be able to time him and find those adjustments.
Izzy's a rhythm breaker, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those constant fakes kind of makes people think, and especially because Imavov moves so in and out. What happens when Izzy starts throwing his amazing low kicks, dude? Slows him down just a little bit, then he can't pop off his hands, and I think that's where Izzy's going to shine a lot.
Yeah.
And physically, he's looking good. He looks good big. He really does. I'm going to go with Izzy too. 3-0 for Izzy. Guys, make that pick.
I saw Drake say he's going to put $1 million on him, so it makes me.
He texted Izzy.
Damn it,
But then it makes me go, fuck.
I'm going Imavov right now.
The Drake curse.
Do you think, okay, for my betting, do you guys think it's going to go 25 minutes or do you think it's going to be a stoppage?
I think stoppage third round.
What do you think, Gil? My gut was going to be decision.
I don't know. David feels he's right now.
Can I just tell you something, though? Last UFC card? Yeesh.
Hey, make that sound one more time.
Yeesh. Yeah.
All our picks, wrong.
Yeah, you thought people lost their homes in the fires. All the people who used my bets.
divorced. His wife left him.
There's going to be a crash. There's a bubble.
There's a whole movie to be made about it.
Like, I lost it all from the fires? No, David's bets.
You know what, Nick? Yeah, I don't think it's a decision.
Yeah.
There's too much fire behind Izzy right now, dude. He's gonna be pressing. Imavov's gonna be
My
game. He wants to
gut
make a name for it.
Yeah.
So you're just making people lose money on underdog. Dude.
My gut says decision. But you guys are swaying me. So we'll see what my final picks are at the end of this.
All right, we got Shara, the Bullet, the Pirate, versus Michael, the Venom, Snake Page.
Michael Venom Page
All
by
day.
decision.
All day.
Same.
MVP.
Yeah.
100%.
MVP.
Shara is interesting. He's young. He's strong. He's fucking fast. But
He's got one eye.
Yep.
I think that's gonna be hard against Michael Page.
Yeah.
You need all your eyes.
You need all your
against that
eyes.
guy.
Dude. He's very fast.
I'm gonna sound like a casual because I am a casual, but Shara, I know we talk about him. He gets put in the news a lot, but about like his fighting, nothing special stands out to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
his kicks are great, but he
His
does.
pace. Like I think that's
Yeah.
his best weapon is his pace and like his volume.
Okay.
But when you get a guy like Michael Page who's just so different than everyone else, like he put he put a clinic on Ian Gary until he got taken down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he did that to Kevin Holland. Like, he's had some really great performances.
Yeah.
And just with his style alone, I know he's like 37. Like, I could definitely see Shara, like, maybe hitting him and hurting him early.
Triple back fist.
But he's got to get there first.
Yeah.
He's got to get in on Michael Page. And Michael Page is definitely a weird guy that you can't really replicate in the training room.
Nobody can replicate it.
Yeah, like, because his ability to close distance is like...
And I wouldn't be surprised
Like,
too,
no
like
other
somebody who gets like Michael Page. Like, I wonder if other people fly Michael Page out to camps a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got to deal
yeah.
with like a striker that's fucking in and out.
Yeah.
Bring Michael Page in, please.
And I just like, he's a charming lad, Michael
Yeah.
Page. He's fun on the mic, dude. If he does this thing,
Game over.
he's going to win, bro.
Heavyweight bout. We
Sergey.
got Sergey versus David's favorite striker, Rosenstruck.
Rosenstruck's a little older. I mean, Sergey's not a spring chicken himself.
Yeah.
But Sergey hits hard, and he's just so much bigger than Jairzinho. Jairzinho has been doing well against bigger fighters who are older, right? Who maybe aren't as athletic as him. Sergey's fucking athletic. He's strong, and he's super long.
And his power is like
Crazy.
Yeah.
next level.
Yeah.
So he might be top punching power guy in the division.
I think Jairzinho's going to get knocked out. And I'm pretty confident about that.
Sergey.
We got Said Nurmagomedov. We got a great last name versus Oliveira.
I'm kind of
That young guy's pretty nuts.
I'm kind of feeling Oliveira on this one.
Who did Nurmagomedov fight
Remember-
recently? Were they impressive?
Oh, he fought
Oh, here, this guy.
Furov. He's the guy I think who beat, or he's the twin brother that beat Rinya.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And those guys are really good too.
The hard part about this fight for me in terms of choice is that young guy, the Brazilian kid, he's like the perfect example of how youth is on your side.
And remember he knocked out Sopaj, right?
Yeah.
That's the fight.
And he flying kneed him. So I think Oliveira's on a run. I'm surprised he's the under on this. Maybe it's just because the rest, or just the Nurmagomedov
The last name?
No relation, by the way.
Yeah.
No
Zero.
relation. So
And
I think
he's
I'm gonna
gonna-
go Oliveira.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm going to Oliveira. I forgot about Sopaj.
I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to choose the Dagestani thing because everybody
Glazer.
calls me Glazer. So,
We're Glazers.
so from here on out, I'm a Nurmagomedov all the time. I don't care who the fuck it is. It could be his mom. I don't give a fuck, dude.
Joanne Nurmagomedov.
Stupid.
All right, we got Muhammad Naimov versus Khan Ofli.
I think I'm gonna go Tajikistan all day.
It's a great country.
Name off.
It's-
They got really good fighters.
But
man.
didn't you say Australia has some crazy guys?
They do.
Like
Some
Jenkins.
savages.
I don't know anything about these two, so I don't really know at all. But the physique looks great.
This guy looks like he's on dude perfect.
If you're talking about who I want to fuck, come on now. Come on.
Easy.
Easy shit. He's not coming on this podcast anytime soon.
I'm gonna go Muhammad Naimov.
Oh, you like the man with the chest hairs, huh?
I just when there's a stand in the name, I'm gonna go with
All right, let's go with the stands, dude.
I'm gonna go with the stand.
I'll go Stan all day. I'll take that. All right, what do we got in the prelims?
Bro, this is a
here?
bang. I got Mike Davis.
all day. He's trying to jump in the pod. We'll get him on because he's great.
Look, I like Mike Davis. I remember watching him on the Tiger Muay Thai
Yep.
and seeing how well rounded his game was. He's like subbing these Brazilian cats, subbing these Russian
I think
cats.
he broke someone's.
He popped someone's knee.
Yeah.
With a calf slicer.
Was
like
he the
some
one
slick
that had the
shit.
story about him being suicidal?
Maybe.
Or is that Terrence McKinney?
It's just all these black dudes. Like I don't know. I heard the story was nuts, or was it gaming? It was something like that. I don't know. He had a
I
very
think it was
interesting
gaming for Mike Davis.
story. Okay, my bad, dude.
I think it was.
But it was an interesting story though.
But Mike Davis, I'm a big fan. I always like seeing him fight. He's beaten a lot of really good guys. Fires, Zayam.
Say it
He's
like a
really
French.
good.
Say it like a French dude, please.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Fires.
The E with a little apostrophe on top. I don't know what that means.
Yes.
Dude, there are so many people
Mike
I
Davis.
know that looks like Shamil Gaziev.
Shamil, and that's who I'm going with. I'm going
In
with
California?
Shamil.
If I just drive right to Glendale
Bahrain.
right now, I could see 18,000 people who look like that. Straight up.
It feels like that beard is like fake painted on.
For reals.
Yeah.
He just tried to sneak into a
No
UFC
lineup.
fight.
He's trying to fit.
Yeah.
He's trying to fit in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Shamil. Shamil's really good.
He is, but Thomas Peterson is just he's a regular dude.
He looks like a cop.
You gotta
firefighter or
you gotta
cop.
go for a regular dude sometimes.
Hey, Terrence is back on this card too, huh?
Yeah, I think that's a good win for him.
Terrence either wins by knockout in the first round or something happens.
I think he could knock this guy out in the first round.
I like Terrence McKinney.
Because Demir's been around for a while. He's an older cat. I think he's like close to his 40s.
Really?
Yeah.
Click that profile.
Click his profile. See what
Demir
how old he is.
Hazvakatak.
They don't put ages on the UFC.
That's interesting.
They
I
don't
wonder
like,
why.
They don't like telling people.
Oh, ageist are we?
But his last win was against Yancy
Oh my God!
Medeiros.
And look at the year.
Yeah. So he's coming off,
2022.
and I feel like if he hasn't fought in a while,
Let's go,
Terrence McKinney is like the perfect guy to like KO you in like the first minute.
Yeah,
because he's so explosive, he's so dynamic, he's so talented.
Cool kid too.
Yeah.
Terrence, come to our podcast, man. I want to hear
on,
your
dude.
story, dude. You keep saying like, I'm gonna tell it on the Joe Rogan story. Yeah, Joe Rogan hasn't responded to you. Come here,
man.
and then Joe Rogan will get you after.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Come here. Look at the
Get our
DMs.
sloppy seconds.
I see that you see my messages and you respond always 3 weeks later.
Yeah, dude.
Just commit.
Yeah,
bro.
Chad Mendez. You always respond to my stuff and like, hey, have you heard of our podcast? And he goes radio silent. I'm like, dude.
Guess who's not supporting you on the GFL? David.
Yeah, that's right. Now I'm going to go against you. Just kidding. I fucking love you.
Big fan.
We
big fan.
have Buena Silva. I mean, I'm going to pick her.
I'm gonna go Jasmine Jusuf-Divisius. She's legit.
Scar fucking healed, dude. Jesus.
Oh, the
yes.
cut.
Oh.
It's the cut. I forgot.
That's crazy. Myra Bueno Silva is very good though, but I think I'm gonna go Jasmine. Yes, me.
I'm surprised there's a female fight on this card. I thought they
First one.
typically avoid that. In
First one.
That part of the town. That part of town.
The town, where's this, in Sao Paulo?
This is in Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
So that part of town, typically there's no female fight, so maybe they'll have to wear a headdress.
Oh, that'd be pretty, dude, that'd be pretty sick.
Mortal
dude.
Kombat, Kitana.
That'd be fucking sick, dude.
Did she wear a mask?
Yeah, they have to wear. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You also have to do that too, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
Just eyes only. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who
I
this
don't know who these guys are.
Pogies? No, Pogies. He's fat.
All right, I'm going Jamal. I gotta go for my fat
So
boy.
Hamadi, he's a Olympic wrestler.
Oh, really?
He competed in the Olympics for wrestling. So I'm gonna go Hamadi.
Oh, and I'm gonna go for that too. But how do you go against a fat boy from America? I'm gonna go with Jamal.
But Pogus he got good hands. He got good boxing.
Listen, no racial once again. I knew this dude in Sacramento named Bricky. He looks just like him, dude. I'm going with Bricky.
Was his name Bricky Pogues?
You know why they call him Bricky?
No, I don't even know his real name. I don't even know his last name. His name was just Bricky. I'm going with Bricky, dude. Bricky, let's go.
Well, guys, those are our picks. Hope you enjoyed this episode with Dean.
Bet the house on it.
And our recast. Make all these picks. And if you want to play with us, Underdog Fantasy, use the code TheCasuals. All right, Nick. You guys heard his picks earlier in the ad. Make sure you compete against him and beat him.
Shout outs to Bricky, man. I hope you out of prison.
Bricky,
Bricky.
we love you. Peace.